Fade out coming in.
Are you quite finished?
I was singing the fade out coming in song. Fade out coming in. Hi everyone who showed up to see Christ's face. You ain't gonna see it.
No.
Dang. Oh, you picked a good picture. I love the artist for that is Caffeine. Nice lady.
There you go. Yes. You are one of those people that don't have a webcam.
Yeah, I'm one of those socially awkward people. It's neat.
One of them's.
One of those.
One of those losers. It's
Welcome
neat.
to the Co-optional Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We do occasionally talk about video games. I'd like to introduce our special guest for the day, and he can tell us exactly what he does. The name beneath him is Chaotic Monkey, because that is his channel name. He prefers, however, to go by the name of Cry. Welcome to the show.
Hi, ignore the chaotic monkey part. I was 13 and very confused at the time.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Okay, a little bit. I'm sorry.
Like all good YouTubers, he has a shit channel name. Fact. It's fact.
Yep.
Total Halibut.
Total Halibut. Yeah. Total Halibut, OMFG Catter, Press Heart to Continue, that has so many fucking T's in it that most people can't even spell it.
Yep.
That's very true.
It's the worst part of my job is linking to her channel. Oh, damn, Dodger. That cat is going into that bag like a bag of dicks. Drink,
Here,
kids.
let me get this cat off my desk and eat a thing.
Cry, do you have a joke to tell?
Oh. You That's a cat, all right.
Yep.
Perfect.
Let's get rid of this cat
All right.
again. Oh my
Oh
god,
my
she's
God.
literally, she's like,
Dodgers.
no, 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 no.
I think the cat's
She's
cat is
purring,
stuck. I think
she's purring so loud.
Jesus.
Damn, Dodger. That pussy loves nuts.
Drink.
Oh, there you go, that was good. There you go.
Drink up, kids.
All right, cat's getting off too. Drink up again.
Right now, half the audience is dead.
We found out what the drinking game was apparently going to be for this episode.
Well, that's what happens when they push it publicly in the chat. Like, I wonder how many people we could kill today.
That was real dumb.
That was not a smart thing that they did right there. Not at all.
They tried.
Do you really want cashews that bad? Like, for real?
Drinking game rule: if the cat eats food.
Oh shit! If the cat eats Dodger's food while making a dick joke, that is a bad dick joke.
Is that a
Ritual
bad
suicide.
omen, Jesse? Does that mean war is coming to the realm?
I think we all must drink.
We all drink.
And die. I think we all just the world collapses in on itself. Guys
Oh
like,
yes,
hey,
motherfucking
give me them
cashews.
that's it. That's
So
what
what's going
happens.
through the mind of that cat right now? The cat's sole purpose for living right now is that bag of cashews. You have to understand
Seriously.
that.
Oh, now she's done. Now it's like, you know what? That was fun. I'm done.
Yeah, she's coming right back. She's coming right back.
There it is.
I think you've just got to acquiesce. Give her the damn cashews.
Can I just say, this is why I'm a dog person?
Yeah,
Because
me
the
too.
dog would just sit on the ground and be like, all right, I'm going to wait till one of those
Okay,
drops.
no. Right.
That's not
As
true.
someone that has a
Yes.
dog, a young dog, no. This is not remotely true. What will
Dogs don't
actually
jump up
happen...
on your desk.
Here,
That's
no.
it.
Yeah, no, this they fucking will. Here is what actually
A
happens.
small dog? They totally
Yeah.
will.
So
You
if the
own a
dog
small
is allowed
rat, you
near
buy a
the,
dog.
if the dog is allowed near the dinner table at any point, it will attempt to climb onto my lap so that it can gain access to the table, and it will keep jumping and bouncing up and down until that actually happens. So no. Eventually, an older dog will learn that the easiest way to do things would be to wait for something to drop on the floor, which it invariably will.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
Smart
Or
dogs.
trash cans.
Dogs
All
learn.
that.
Cats are always stupid.
Yeah,
That's not true. Sherlock doesn't try to eat my food ever anymore.
That's because Sherlock is socially awkward. He leaves parties early because he's just too damn cool.
I see.
Hey,
That's how it is.
no
is it?
spoilers. Don't spoil people.
As I was saying, welcome to the Co-optional Podcast. We do occasionally talk about video games. Cry, welcome to the show. Please introduce yourself and tell people what you do before they derail this motherfucking podcast again.
Hi, play video games just like every other 1,000 channels on freaking YouTube. That's about it.
Oh,
Yay.
okay. What kind of video games do you play?
Nothing sets me apart from another 1,000 other channels. Please don't think I'm special.
I see. What kind of video games do you play?
Ones that are... play Walking Dead and shit, man. Everything else. Everybody does that stuff, man. You know this. You know this, buddy.
When
It's
you're
all
not
good.
busy horribly murdering the rest of the Polaris crew with me as your teammate in the Chivalry Polaris tournament, which we won, what else are you doing in your daily life?
What else am I doing in my daily life?
Other than killing all of them and making us win the tournament, which we won.
That was a wonderful tournament that we did win. In fact, that we did,
it was,
yes.
yeah. A wonderful tournament, which everyone should check out over on youtube.com/Polaris, which we won.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Are you here just because TV wanted to brag? Is that what this is?
I think so. He
that what
invited
this
me
is?
after we won, so maybe.
I feel like you won him over. TV's
and
a
I.
hard man to win over. TV's a hard man to win over, and I feel
You know,
like
I'm noticing an
by
awful lot of
helping him
winning
win-
on this show, which is quite reminiscent of the tournament which we won.
Do I have to lock you away? Hold on.
Well, she's
You're
Just
back.
pour the cashews in the bag and move slowly away from the table. Anyway, yeah, tell us more about how much you win in Life Cry.
Oh, well, I win in life because I lose Hearthstone matches like yesterday.
Ah, okay.
Against somebody. That was a sad day.
That does happen from time to time.
Yeah, I just boringly play video games. Boringly.
You'll
You're
fit
selling
right in
yourself
here.
Very well. Yeah, you're doing a good job.
I don't sell myself. I let people purchase if they want, but I don't.
God.
I don't pitch things, man.
I suck at everything. Come see my channel, kids.
It's worked for Jesse for the last 3.5 years, so
What can I say?
it should do the job. This is,
We're all
of
pretty
course,
bad.
yeah. We're all pretty terrible, actually.
We're all
at
pretty
video
bad,
games.
you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I lost my first Speedball match against someone that had never played Speedball before.
It's just bad.
never mind. I'm gonna spoil it. I just realized the match hasn't gone up yet.
Yeah, that's the first match for me did not go well. Let me put it that way. We were playing. I was playing against Tales of Lumen, who obviously lives in South Africa. There was a little bit of lag going on, which actually meant that we had even less time than regular to play the turns, which was a bit of a pain. I actually missed out on a number of things like a reroll because I ran out of time, which is weird because the dice is supposed to freeze the time, but it did freeze the time, but when I pressed the reroll button, the fraction of a second between it loading that and the next window caused the timer to go out. It's like,
No way.
cyanide! What the hell?
That's really funny.
Oh, that was terrible. So yeah, I did lose that match, and then I got the worst possible prize amount at the end. I got 10,000 gold, which is the least you could ever get. So I'm like, well, this is not going to go well to begin with. But I did learn some interesting ideas and tactics, like don't put all of your special weapons out at the same time during Speedball. That's a terrible idea. Spread them out amongst the drafts, because it's easier to micro and takes less time.
I'm just trying to think. Are we talking about speedball or like skee ball? Because I know
We're
skee ball.
Yeah, we're definitely not talking about skee ball. That I can
Oh,
guarantee.
skee
We
ball's
are.
pretty amazing,
No,
though.
that's
Skee ball
what
is a
we're
good game.
talking
Okay. All right,
Skee ball
what-
is one of those games that
I'd like to-
everyone loves to play, regardless of age.
I'd like to imagine there's a giant skee ball tournament. And
There's got to be
amazing.
skee ball tournaments, surely.
TV only got $10,000 for losing.
That
Oh,
sucks.
it's the worst.
All right,
Well,
skee
that's
ball
the
tournament
worst.
on YouTube. There's got to be some.
What's speedball, though? What are we talking about here?
So we're talking about Blood Bowl. Which,
Oh, okay, okay. All right, that's all I had to
and
say.
the variant of it, which has 40-second turns, which we call Speed Bowl. Because it turns out when we did the last tournament, 2-hour matches, not so entertaining.
What?
Especially
No
when
way.
you... Yeah, seriously. So we're playing the speed chess version of it, which is significantly worse. Wow. I looked for a skee ball tournament. The first thing I found was a Dark Side Phil video. Okay. I wonder if he's terrible at that too. We'll see.
Sorry, I love that.
Zink.
That is not a rabbit hole we really necessarily want to go down. But anyway,
I would love to go down with
you can go down that rabbit hole with me at a later date, Cry. I guarantee. Jesse, welcome to the show.
I'm not sure we're talking about skee ball anymore. Guys, I'm a little worried. Hi, how's everyone doing? It is a bright, sunny day. I've spent the last 2 days looking at all the freaking insanely stupid things coming out of CES this year. I'm thrilled about it. Yay, technology. Stuff we don't need. And yeah, I may be the single best anti-aircraft user in all
You've been saying this for the last 4 weeks straight.
I was just gonna say every single week, Jesse's been like, let me tell you about Battlefield 4.
Let me tell you about how good I am at aiming at the sky and holding down left mouse button. I am fucking incredible at it.
It's even easier than that now. I've upgraded my ship completely, so now my missiles lock on to targets without even having to follow them. So I just start launching missiles and driving around, and I'm like,
you are the worst person. The only reason
so
you're any good
great.
at Battlefield is because you're the only person that can successfully load into a game.
Oh
That's
my
true.
God.
And the better part is that now I have night vision goggles, so when guys try to run at me, all I see is the little white dots, and I just gun them down, and they're like, how do you see us? We're behind stuff. I'm like, just firing off rockets. I'm division, like, one-up in this shit. I got, like, I'm the best there ever was. I'm going, like, 13-0 and 19-1, and it's crazy.
And doing nothing whatsoever for the team.
Although the enemy hates me. Every single time I get in a game, they're like, this asshole again. God damn it. And I'm like, yeah.
Enemies hate him. Discover this one weird trick that made Jesse Cox the best Battlefield player.
I've never played an online FPS before. Actually, I played Counter-Strike, but I sucked at it. I've never played.
Don't worry, everyone sucks at Counter-Strike. That's not new.
I've never played one of these before. And I found my calling. It's sitting in a little tank and just firing rockets.
Are you answering the call of duty, Jesse?
Lol. Yes.
No.
Lol.
Damn.
Lol.
I'm not.
That joke was another drinking thing, by the way. So.
Was it? Oh, crap. All right. I should start filling this with vodka. It'd be a great show.
No, we are not. We are not contributing and playing.
2 hours in, it just becomes nothing but the Dark Side Phil podcast. And I'm like, let me tell you. No. Oh dear. Dodger, welcome to the show. What's been going on?
I went to Palm Desert and hung out with my parents, and I started throwing away jackets. And look, I haven't played anything new,
what?
really.
What?
That's the most random combination of shit ever.
And I started throwing
away jackets as if that's totally normal.
I started going through my clothes because look, I'm like trying to utilize shelves that I can't reach. So if you come to my house ever, you'll notice that all of the shelves
don't do any of those things, by the way.
Huh?
Ever. I was suggesting that people don't come to your house at random.
Right, yeah.
That sounds like a good idea.
But if ever you're invited and you're in
Which you won't
my
be.
home, and you see the shelves that are up top, anywhere in my house, they all just have stuff thrown onto them because I literally can't reach. So, my friend Jeannie...
I'm sorry, I've got this brilliant image in my mind. It's just like my dog.
It's me. So, like, the closet... The little closet that I keep all my jackets in was literally like a few jackets hung up and then millions of sweatshirts just in a pile falling off constantly. And so Jeannie was like, you need to utilize this space a bit better.
God bless that girl. God bless that girl. Because that would make me lose my mind. Just hearing it said, I'm like, fucking fold the sweaters.
No, they're folded, but then like I can't reach, so I just throw it up there, and then it's like it was never folded.
I recommend a stepladder.
I have 2 of those, but
it'd be like some giant ancient library. There's this big ladder on wheels.
Lazy to bring them, and like it's either walk into the kitchen, get the stepladder, come all the way back to the living room, climb it, put my sweatshirts up there. Why? When I could just throw them up there. So Jeannie knows me and realizes that I'm never going to actually utilize the things that I own.
You know what you need? You know what you need? Like the libraries have the books that go all the way to the ceiling.
I need a hobbit home.
That's not where I was going, but you need one of those library ladders that you can scoot across the shelving, and then you can climb it and put stuff away.
I've daydreamed about having one of those.
You need that. You need
so that I could be like Belle in Beauty and the Beast, and I could just but my face would turn into Nigel, like the one
Here's
I'm
the
Nigel
problem.
gif.
You would.
This is going to very strange places right now.
You would break it because you'd spend all your time doing that rather than using it for its intended purpose.
I would literally whip it back and forth, going and then it would break, and I would fall and hurt myself. So.
Oh wow.
But yeah,
I just discovered how
I've been,
fun it is stabbing this styrofoam with this pin. It's actually really entertaining.
Don't kill a person.
TB, in order to find any entertainment out of us, had to stab something.
This is pretty standard. You should see what I do after the regular shows. Oh, Jesus. People die.
Poor styrofoams.
Animals die.
I'm actually just done with today. Yeah, so...
Please tell me you actually played some video games and you're not going to be useless for the first hour.
I mean, I'm useless because I haven't played anything new. Although, I will say... There are two games that I really want to play, one of which is Long Live the Queen. I need to play it so bad.
Oh, no.
I need to play it so bad. The number of people who came from you, TB, and were like, Dodger, you have to play this game. You need to go watch TB play this game right now.
It does kind of seem like the sort of things that you would, the sort of thing you would be into.
I bought it immediately.
Yeah, part visual novel, part life sim, part getting killed by everyone who wants to horribly murder you in a Game of Thrones type scenario, but with anime bullshit.
My kind of thing.
Right?
Fantastic.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. Yeah, for those who do not know, that there is not... I did a WTF Viz of it, which is kind of my assessment, but there's also the Jen sitting next to me making me feel horrible for 2 hours stream, which is available on youtube.com/JennaBane. So you can check that out if you so desire.
Yes.
Making me feel horrible. Why? Because of the choices you made? She's like, I wouldn't have done that.
It was mostly just the anime bullshit, I think, that I couldn't really handle. It's funny because the game's not actually Japanese.
You can't handle it, senpai?
Can you goo elsewhere, you bastards? Jesus. It's... Yeah, this is what... The game looks fairly basic. It's by one woman, actually. Hanako Games is one woman, and Spiky Caterpillar, I think, was the collab on this one. And it's a case of train up a lot of skills. You'll have to forgive the mouse cursor. The game actually runs... Like, when you capture it, it runs at, like, 5 FPS for some reason, which actually makes literally no difference because it's a visual novel, but the actual game feels fine when you play it, which is really weird. But
what do you look
vomiting
like?
anime.
It really is. Like, it is a giant cesspit of anime. But
What did you look like? What was your character?
What do you mean? Like,
What did
You
you...
always look the same, right?
Yeah, you look the same. It changes.
She just looks like standard, like, long, blonde, kind of curly
She's got the
hair.
giant eyes, but
Yeah.
like, she's only one of the only characters in the game that does. Like, the other characters look relatively
TB.
normal.
Oh, she's got pink hair. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's you?
how could I?
I thought that was who you were talking to. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no. Elodie is your character, and you have to upgrade your skills by taking classes in them, which is dependent on what your mood is as to whether or not you can train well in it. And you can change your mood by going to different areas of the castle and kind of manipulating your mood in order to train skills optimally. And then every day different events happen, which have a bunch of skill checks. And things can happen in different ways. You can die a myriad of different ways in this game. Like, huge amounts. And you sometimes can't even see it coming. I have died now twice to poisoned chocolate, which is...
Poison.
Stop eating the chocolate.
Assholes.
Stop
Yeah.
eating the chocolate.
My
eating
first
the chocolate.
playthrough, I trained myself military. Like, I was a military fucking genius. Like, I was a dictator. And then, because I hadn't trained her properly in court manners or trained her in dog handling so the dogs could have smelled the poisoned chocolates, I stuffed down a box of chocolates and died instantly. And that
What?
ended the game.
Why did you eat that much chocolate at once?
Because I don't have enough court manners to know not to do that.
I thought it was common sense, but all right.
This princess has no common sense at all. Like, an example of this would be fairly early on. You get a trade delegation come up and propose an idea for a printing press. Yep. So, like, to revolutionize everything. And she says, that sounds, like, really complicated and I don't understand it, so reject. Another one later on is a hospital for wounded soldiers, which, like, sounds amazing, right? But if you don't know enough about medicine and herbalism and something else or whatever, she says, putting sick people with other sick people will make them sicker. That sounds like a really bad idea. Rejected. Like, you dumb bint! What?
I like that, like, where normally in a game they would just be like, well, you make the decision.
Oh, no.
entirely based on
Oh,
like,
no.
what you've.
You can make some decisions on your own, but it unlocks more and usually better decisions if you pass the skill checks. So it's like a diplomatic thing where your default options are pretty bad. Like, you got to piss somebody off. But if you know enough about foreign affairs and world history and things like that, you actually unlock other options which are better. So kind of Mass Effect-ish, I guess, in that respect. But those choices do have consequences. Yep. And usually those consequences are, oh, you piss someone off, they're probably going to try and kill you at some point in the future. So you better make sure your appropriate skills are sorted out for that.
Yay!
I want that as a quote. I want this game to get an official release, and I want that as a quote. I want to say, TotalBiscuit, this is the Mass Effect of dating sims.
I actually said it was the Dark Souls of life sims.
There you go, close enough. Close enough.
Graphics look like Dark Souls, so yeah, it
Dark
makes sense.
Souls of life sims.
The backgrounds do a little bit, yeah. I think perhaps the anime maybe not, but...
It looks just like Dark Souls.
It's exactly like Dark
They're
Souls.
so similar, especially in the handling. The controls really remind me so much of it.
The pink-haired hero is what got me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it seems like a kind of childish game, I suppose, but it's not. But it's very niche, because I think like the whole trial and error life sim genre is something that a lot of people will not enjoy, because it is a giant waste of time. But Dodger, on the other hand, will absolutely love it.
Oh,
Jesse,
I will love it so much.
Jesse, have you played this? It seems like a kind of thing you would fan Friday for whatever reason.
No, I've not played this. Instead, I played a game this past week called Paper Sorcerer. That was really fun, where it's a straight up indie game, but it looks great. Basically, you're a sorcerer and you get stuck in a book because the heroes trap you.
Here we go.
The heroes trap you in a book, and so the first half of the game, it's like you're in a dungeon, so it's very like Legends of Grimnock sort of ish. But it's also an RPG, but it's not a grindy RPG. So it's one of those things where each battle you have to tactically know what the hell you're doing because there are only so many enemies in the game, and it starts out. Later on, like as you go through the dungeon, eventually you enter like an actual open world. Because the artwork, it's very like, I don't even know how you would describe it. Oh god, what's the name of that game where you had to like solve puzzles and the art style was really trippy as balls while you were doing it?
Oh, Antechamber?
Yes, the art style, like it has that, but it's the color of
There's a name for, like, I mean, it looks like very. I'd say it's very ink drawn. This art style, but like
very strange. Yeah,
there's probably. Yeah. Sorry, Craig, go ahead.
Oh, it reminds me of Mad World from Wii, if you've ever played that. Yeah. Just like, it needs more blood, and actually, just take away this whole thing and make it Paper Mario, and then I'll be happy.
Blood.
Needs more chainsaws on arms, then it will be.
Or that too, yeah.
But it has the looting mechanic of kind of Skyrim, where there's just stuff about, and a lot of it you don't really need, but, you know, whatever, take it.
This takes a lot of inspiration from old school graphical text adventures. Like the really old stuff where it was just a text adventure, but it occasionally showed images. It's like that.
Yeah, and a lot of it is that. You make a lot of choices where like guards will approach you or you'll talk to guys and you can basically decide how you want to interact with them. A lot of times the guards don't give a shit and they attack you anyway. But but then the best part is you get to summon your party members. So as you gain more powers, you get more people in your party. And so you can summon anything from skeletons who are like defensive to werewolves who are like berserker kind of guys to a minotaur who's like a really hard hitter. You can get a witch who's a healer / like poisoner. You can get vampires that heal, but they like suck blood. Like there's all these different classes you can get. And so I made mine a skeleton, witch, minotaur, and me. And I was like, yeah, we're the best.
Nice.
And I did it purely for sexual reasons, though. I thought...
Hang on.
What the fuck, man?
Well, I picked the witch because I was trapped in a book, so I needed some company. And I picked the skeleton because you know, he's just bones. But then I was worried because I named him Boner, which was a problem.
Right.
Then I was worried because the Minotaur, you know, Minotaurs are hung. So I was like, I don't know, but I need him. So he joined. But then the Minotaur ended up liking Boner a lot. So I was like, oh... It worked out okay. It worked out okay. It worked out great. So in the end, worked out wonderful. And we escaped. And we met the book. The book has like an anime girl who's inside of it. So it's pretty great. And I was like, yeah. It's pretty well. But the music's fantastic. The music is very reminiscent of like old, I don't know, Final Fantasy style. Like when you get to the boss battle, the music picks up and it's like really great. It's like it's great.
Thanks for the rendition, Jesse.
Yeah,
Much
I like
appreciated.
it.
That really drew me into the world right there.
You're welcome. So it's actually really fun. That's what I played last Fan Friday. I had a blast. So
Cool.
I might want to play Prettiest Princess, but I have a feeling that I would make a lot of awful choices.
That will make it
That
more
makes
fun.
for a good video. Yeah.
It does.
No, but then
Let's
I'd
see
win.
if you die to chocolate. That's a possibility.
No, I died like Prince, good looking, because you know
Right.
he's a bad guy. You know he's a bad guy. He's like, "Hi, I'm Prince, good
Good-looking?
looking."
Right.
Yes, and I'm here to help you rule the kingdom, my love. She's like, "Oh, I'm a young pink-haired girl. There's nothing that could go wrong here." If Prince good looking is anything like me, which he obviously is, I would murder her so quick and take over. You have no idea. Guys.
Jesse's a murderer, by the way. I don't know how many of you have caught on to that
Damn.
over
Thought he
this
was a nice
series of co-optional podcasts, but he's under house arrest. He cannot leave.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the only reason I have him on the show, because at least I know he'll eventually show up to it.
Right, he'll always be
why-
here.
My only friend is that pillow in the corner. You can only see the eyes.
I fucking love that pillow, man. I swear.
Jesse. I love you too, pillow.
I've just been staring at it this whole time.
We need to
your
start
Wilson.
a pillow selling business. Let's see if we can get Radio Arcade to make pillows and sell them. It'll be awesome.
Oh, hell yeah.
That would
Like a
be
body pillow
awesome.
of that. Body pillow of Jesse. I'd buy that.
I wouldn't.
You need to sell body pillows, Jesse.
Anime style body pillows. Oh my god.
No, it's just like an actual picture of you, but
Of
then
just
the
me?
face is cropped out, and then you have like ugu eyes.
Oh God,
Oh,
no!
like the shaded cheeks.
Yeah, just
Yep. It has to be shaded.
That is
huge
horrific.
eyes.
That is horrific.
You need to make this, Jesse. Be
No.
amazing.
I don't.
I want it so bad.
The only time I've heard you scream like that is when you're horrified. So I don't know how to react right now because that was you're like, I want it so badly. That was very. I don't know what to think about that. I'm.
Well,
I just want to make sure though, if the pillow is ever a thing, that there's
Right.
actually like implanted hairs on it, so you can like rub your face against your your face on the
yeah,
pillow.
no, I would shave, and each one would be included with one hair.
A single
Perfect.
hair.
each
Jeez.
pillow
Yeah.
would go for thousands of dollars because
Oh,
it would have
no.
actual. He would have to grow out a new beard for every pillow.
It's
It
a
would be like
risk.
one
You know,
pillow
some
per
crazy
beard.
fangirl is going to clone you from that DNA
Here's the thing.
and do
She can
horrible
have
things to you.
She can have because if there's a clone of me out there, I can kill him because he's not real. And I can kill him and take his body parts. And I
I just really want to kill somebody, man.
True.
This whole murder thing really doesn't suit you. You don't seem like the type.
House arrest.
That's because I'm not. Unless the
dear.
world ends, in which case all bets are off.
All bets are off. Everybody's for himself.
I will murder for. I'll be the bad. You know, in the movies, there's the bad. Like there's the group of bad guys. Like, well, what do we have here? And there's always the knife guy. I'd be the knife guy.
Oh,
I know what kind of player you are in DayZ. Shit.
I think you'd be the cannibal, Jesse.
What? Oh no, I'd be the guys in. This is the end. I'd be
Yeah,
the,
exactly.
I'd be-
That's
I'd be-
what
oh,
I'm
yeah.
saying. You'd be him.
Channing Tatum would be humping my.
You
leg.
would have Channing Tatum in
What up,
dominatrix
Tatum?
gear humping your leg, and you'd eat people. It
Yes.
would be your life.
After you jizzed all over that guy's house, yeah.
I mean, that would have happened before the apocalypse.
Okay.
Cry, what have you been playing this week?
Okay, well, I've been playing Rust and Hearthstone and being bad at both of them.
Yay,
Tell me about Rust.
I was gonna ask about Rust.
Rust
about Rust.
is well, all right. You know Gary's mod.
I do.
Gary's mod and DayZ became a thing apparently, and
They did.
Mr. Gary, whatever the guy's name is, actually in his head, and he, combined the two. So now you can run around in first person mode and actually jump for once, and perform. I know it's very important to jump.
Don't get crazy here.
Yeah, it's if Gary's mod met DayZ, you can build structures, little huts and stuff, and then just it's very important. I brought this up earlier, but if you want to play it, play on a server where the people speak your own language, because you're gonna have a big problem with communicational errors with people running up to you with guns.
Tell us the story, Cry.
I will tell you the story. So me and my buddy Russ, we decided, hey, let's play Rust. Because, you know, Russ, his name, and then Rust.
I was about to make that joke. I'm glad.
I know, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. But so we decided to play, and we were like, man, we're actually surprised that this Portuguese/Brazilian server has really good ping. So we go on it, and we're like, yeah, we're playing Rust. It's really fun. And I got, like, you know, a good amount of, like, resources. Can you resources to build things?
Yeah.
And I'm, you know, running around the forest, and I kill this wolf. I'm, you know, beating it up. And then out of nowhere, this trio of Portuguese people just run up and just start screaming at me over mic, pointing like shotguns at my face, just being like, I don't know what the fuck they're saying. I'm just like screaming like, no, stop, what's going on? They just don't shut up. They just keep like threatening me, shooting by my like legs and shit. I don't know what they want. And then suddenly they just shoot me in the head and I'm dead and they take all my things. And it's just like, well, it's a good game, Russ. $20. Buy it on Steam. So then I moved on to a server where people spoke my language, and I made friends.
I was about to say, I'm assuming that's not been your only.
Yeah, if you can actually communicate, it's a little bit better. Then, you know, you understand if people are creepy or, you know, just trying to be nice guys. Don't play with Brazilians if you don't speak the language.
Yeah, that is definitely an experience I think any of us that have played League of Legends or Dota 2 will certainly attest to. But I want to, you were talking about building stuff.
Yeah.
I want to know about that. How does that work?
It's very minimal right now, but you can build, like, at least in the delayed video, I see there's a structure on the field. You can build, like, little huts. You can build customized things. You can, like, there's a platforms you can build. You can make castles. There's spiked walls you can put up. You can straight up make a castle in the game. Wooden doors can be chopped down with, like, hatchets, so those don't really protect you that much. But there's metal doors, which you need things like C4 in the game or, like, grenades. Which are in the game, by the way. And, you know, you just put it wherever you want, and it stays on the server. And also, a really interesting mechanic is a lot of servers have something called Sleeper enabled. So when you log out, your character actually lays down on the ground, and people can come up and kill you while you're sleeping.
Oh.
Yeah, I was listening to Giant Bombcast, and they were talking about playing that game and how people have to basically just make a fortress with metal doors so that when they go to sleep, no one can take their stuff. Or you have to have friends that are on in shifts that watch everybody's stuff. I was like, that sounds like a job. Like, that doesn't sound fun at all.
I can definitely see the appeal. I mean, that's an EVE Online kind of thing, really, isn't it? Yeah, because that's a game that doesn't wait for you. And I think that there is definitely appeal to that. And even since before Minecraft, I think Minecraft maybe popularized this idea of constructive survival in the sense that you have to build stuff in order to not get horribly murdered by the things that are outside. But even before that, there were things like MUDs on Telnet, these kind of text-based, massively multiplayer games that had similar elements to them. There's always been a desire to have that happen, but I think for a lot of people, it'll be like, screw everything about that. That does sound like an awful lot of work.
It's for masochists out there. That's really all it is.
But you're having fun with
hate
it.
yourself.
It's for three Brazilian guys who love to rob people.
I have a conflicting fun with it. It's like gambling. You know, a lot of the times I hate myself for playing it. Sometimes I don't hate myself for playing it. I so far have gotten about a 60-40 split of hate and love. So hate's on the 60 end. But, you know, I'm giving it a fair shot at least before I'm just like, I'm going to go back to playing video games that don't hurt me. A lot of video games hurt me.
Understandable.
All right.
Hearthstone's a dick.
Yes,
Sorry,
it is. All right, so why is Hearthstone a dick, right?
Well, it's just like a typical card game. Sometimes you just get bad draws. And then you realize that when you don't get a bad draw, then you mess up the play. Then right after you do the play that messed you up, you're just like, well, there goes my fun for the day. And then they just spam you with greetings. Hello.
You can squelch that, and you probably
I know,
should.
but that's just being mean to them that were being mean to me. I want to listen to their input, which is just based on.
But they only have. I was gonna say they only have 6 buttons to give you that input. What?
And they might have something very important to say to me.
It seems limited somehow.
They might say "well played" and I'll feel better. Probably not.
That's the only.
But they meant it sarcastically, so it really made you feel worse.
It's like the people who get really offended when you say "GG" after beating their butts.
Yeah, and never truly understood that, the whole aggressive GG thing. I don't know what's going on with that. It's like,
Yeah, that's
just...
so weird. After destroying people on video games.
But, sorry, Robo Jesse, I didn't catch that.
I know. I was just.
I
Gonna
like the
say.
freeze frame right now. Oh, there he is.
I said, who would do that? That's so rude.
Of course.
GG.
GG. So, anything else other than Hearthstone and Rust that you've been playing?
I dabbled in Starbound a bit,
Okay.
and then I realized that there's a lot of things in the game that I don't quite understand. Like I'm sure it's been talked about a lot how the cute things are actually evil and the evil things are actually nice.
Yes.
It's very confusing, and it plays with my emotions too much, so I stopped playing. I can't trust things anymore now.
It sounds like you're in a dark place.
I was going to say, your gaming career up to this point does seem to be running into a few hiccups.
I feel like you're in a dark place. If you ever need a friend, note, I'll be your friend.
Oh, thanks, man.
But you'll need to wear that bondage gear and hump my leg because that's the only spot I have available in my crew right now.
Shit, I'll just go play Kirby's Epic Yarn again. Fuck. It's less gimpy.
Yep.
Cry,
we actually haven't
been hurt.
played. So,
You are hurting.
he is dead inside.
It's always pain.
We haven't played Starbound since before the beta even began, because we had the copy that was embargoed, the earliest copy. So we played that for 4 episodes. I'm like, right, I think we might have to wait a little while for them to stop resetting the characters every couple of days to continue this series, because this is... some people have been struggling through it, but I'm like, it is not worth the hassle to struggle through the constant resets and bugs in order to actually make this thing work as a series.
Yeah.
So far, the most important thing I've seen is a mod to make your ship into the ship from Firefly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty good. It's a good mod. I liked it. That's really the only important thing I've seen in the game right now.
Yeah.
So
I'll wait for a little bit longer. I'll talk to the devs and say, look, can we, is there going to be a month where you're not going to reset everything? Because if so, we'll give it a bash again, and we'll see what's going on with it.
Give it an old bash.
Give it a bash.
I liked what we played of it, but it's like, well, this is going to take a while to be where it needs to be, and we probably should just do a bit more Terraria until that happens.
The chat is saying next week is the final character wipe.
Well, there you go then. We can restart it then. Cool, because it was my intention to do Terraria this weekend, Jesse, if you're up for it, and to do some Starbound the week afterwards.
Weekend.
I'm always around on the weekend.
You're always around every time because you're under house arrest.
That's
Ever wonder why you only see the top half on camera, guys? Is because his tracking anklet.
No, wait, I'm a centaur. Shit.
You're not you're neither of those. He's also a compulsive liar, which is why he's under house arrest. But
God.
wait,
his tracking anklet
TotalBiscuit is Jesse's ball and chain?
Yes, it's true. He's my pretty princess.
TotalBiscuit in a tutu.
Fuck you.
I can't leave the house. I gotta deal with this princess over here. Excuse me, princess.
See, now
I got that.
the alternate reality that I'm totally okay with is that
God.
Cry is your Channing Tatum dressed up in dominatrix gear, humping your leg while you eat people that you've murdered and are now under house arrest for, and TotalBiscuit also lives with you, but under the requirement that he wear a tutu at all times.
I feel.
I like how in this reality you only get put under house arrest for eating people. It's like, well, that was mildly
He
bad,
continues
but...
to do it secretly, right? But he was caught
well,
once.
no, they're still going to put him in real prison for that, even if he only did it once.
Here's the question that I need an answer to, and this is the deepest question. I think the internet will know.
All right.
Cry, I assume it's obvious why he is a leg humping, wearing of leather man, but I have eaten people. I'm under house arrest. What did TB do that his punishment said you have to go live with the man who eats people and live with him forever in a tutu? What did
I
he
committed
do?
the heinous crime of
Him and
being
his
mean
human
sometimes
pet.
on the internet. That's why.
The judge is like, look.
That's actually even a worse crime than eating people.
Go live with this cannibal and his human pet. I sentence you. Like, what?
That's what happens when Reddit is your courtroom. You know.
It's true.
They have some interesting ideas about justice. What can I say?
Dude, justice porn, best subreddit.
What?
Justice porn.
I don't know. I like petty revenge because honestly, like r/petty revenge is basically justice porn, but without any of the pretensions.
Really?
Yeah, I'd say
I'm gonna
so.
look that up right now.
Yeah, go
What
r/petty
is-
revenge is really good.
Do I want to know what justice porn is?
Hell yeah, you do.
There's a lot of subreddits that have the word porn in them that are not actually porn, and they
So
usually
it's like food porn, where it's like really sexy
food
shots
porn,
of-
history
okay,
porn, earth porn, things like
Gotcha.
that.
So-
And justice porn is basically a set of stories about how someone got what was coming to them, and one assumes that then neckbeards
that sounds
masturbate
awesome.
furiously to
That sounds
them.
awesome. Yeah.
This is a popular
cool.
subreddit.
But it's honestly, like, I don't think Justice Porn is that great because really a lot of it is just a bunch of petty revenge stuff. And really, a lot of it's like, oh yeah, this guy stole a candy bar at some point when he was hungry, and then he was run over by a truck and horribly killed. Justice! I'm like, no,
That's some hardcore justice porn right there.
that's what a lot of that stuff is, though, in my opinion. And that's why I don't really like that subreddit too much.
No. See, that sounds like justice snuff to me.
Yeah, well, they don't really know the difference.
I guess
Just the snuff.
I just need a sniff, man. It's all good.
Yeah. Again, some of the stuff that gets posted there is pretty good. Like, you know, where it's actually someone who did something horrible and got what was coming to them. But more often than not,
It's Reddit. The rest of it's Reddit, though. So.
yeah.
Well, I
yeah.
see the top post right now is "Heh, sorry about your shirt."
I know.
So
I'm gonna read these later.
Arsel's
I'm
petty
leaving that up.
revenge. You know, it's like they did something petty and not remotely serious, and that was kind of funny. But
holy, the too long didn't read. Two little assholes peed on our merry-go-round and we rubbed their t-shorts in it.
T-shorts.
petty revenge.
All right, petty revenge. All right,
Petty revenge.
don't pee on
Those
somebody's merry-go-round.
Do T-shorts exist? Some combination of a T-shirt and shorts?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
T-shorts.
weird.
I mean, the sweater pants are like a thing now.
What,
T-shorts.
they are?
Oh my god, there's shorts made of T-shirts. Holy shit. Kickstart it. Make it happen.
Rodeo Arcade.
T-shorts. Wait, no, they're real.
What?
T-shirts are real. Wait.
I need this.
I've got a great idea. I want to talk about what I've been playing this week before we get
yeah.
too derailed by this stupid conversation.
Don't Google it though. It just takes you to like weird butts.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm going. T-shorts.
It's weird butts. Cry, it's weird butts.
Hell yeah, they're weird butts. All right, what's you been playing, TV?
Well, not much really, but
Okay, thanks.
Not just spill that shit.
but did a bit of StarCraft ladder. That's been going pretty well. Actually, because I got dumped into this really low MMR bracket, I used to play around Platinum League, which is not good, but it's not awful either. It dumped me because I hadn't played enough in a while. It dumped me into Bronze, which is literally the worst. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to cheese my way back up out of Bronze. So I did 7 games where I picked the most bullshit, stupid strategies imaginable, won most of those, and it put me up to Silver. But I'm now winning 100%. If I play straight up, I win every time. So I'm like, well, I've got to not play straight up because this isn't that entertaining. So I've been doing a bunch of dumb strats, but it's been fun. Like, I always go back to StarCraft every once in a while because laddering is really, really fun. And I've also been playing a mod lately with the viewers called Raynor Party, which is very much like Mario Party in that there's a bunch of mini games that are all
like Uther
StarCraft
Party?
themed.
Awesome.
Yes, it is actually very much like Uther Party from Warcraft 3. Very similar concept in StarCraft 2. And, just for those of you who don't know, in 2.1, they're making the arcade games, all of those mods, free. Completely free. Don't need to own StarCraft to play any of them.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. So you're going to be able to play stuff like Uther Party and shit like fucking StarCraft 2 Brood War mod, which is a full Brood War mod. Like, the whole thing. You can play all of it. It's going to be insane, the amount of free stuff you're going to be able to play, so...
Wasn't there an MMO made through that?
Yep, they're making that right now. It's less of an MMO at the moment. It's kind of WoW style, but it's not like huge numbers of people. But yeah, it's that is what's the name of that? StarCraft Universe, I think is what they called it.
They did. And then wasn't it like forcibly canceled?
No, it was called World of StarCraft, and they forced them to change the name to StarCraft Universe because
which is a better name. Which is inherently a better name.
Yeah, World of StarCraft was a stupid thing to call it. It's like World of Worlds.
How far along is that? They're still working on it, right?
It's got content. You know, there's a pretty big team working on it. Like, you can play it, and it's okay. They've got some rating counters in there. They've got some quests that, you know, it's going to take them a while to get things together. But it's impressive that they even tried it, you know?
Yeah.
And they actually made it work to some degree. But there's a lot of fun little games on there.
See, that's how you extend the life of a game, is you just have mining capabilities, man.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah, I really hope that it helps StarCraft, actually, because, I don't know, I guess that having a business model whereby you have to buy the box and then buy the expansion these days is a little tricky to sell when you have stuff like Dota 2 and League of Legends are fucking free, you know?
Yeah.
So it's difficult to compete with that, especially on a multiplayer level, but we'll see. Like, going free with the arcade could really help. They don't want to go free with the main game, because if they do, then it's going to be hacker central. So, and that's like map hacking. Map hacking is already a bit of a problem in ladder. It would become an epidemic if every time they banned someone, they could just come back for free instead of paying like $90 to get back in.
Right.
That actually makes me wonder, is there map hacks for, like, League of Legends and things like that?
No. The way that apparently the way that League of Legends and Dota 2 were designed from the ground up, because I actually asked this of some pros. I'm like, hang on a minute, why is map hacking an issue with StarCraft 2 but not with League of Legends and Dota?
That makes me
Apparently the way they made it is they made the server only send the information that the players absolutely need at that time.
Oh.
So apparently that also made the spectator mode in League of Legends much harder to create, but ultimately, it means that you don't run into those problems, because that information is not available on your client for you to view. Whereas on StarCraft 2, that information is client-side, but it's obfuscated, so if you hack, you unobfuscate it. Whereas you never have the information to begin with playing Dota and LoL.
Diablo 2 map hacks all the way, man.
Yeah. Something along those lines. Which is kind of silly, because if you had it client-side, like, you should be able to play stuff like LAN mode easily and not be server required, but they did that anyway. So, that's kind of annoying. It's like, oh, StarCraft could have an advantage of having a proper LAN mode. Like, no, we're not going to do that.
Thanks, Blizzard.
Yeah, it's like, I love your game, but sometimes your decisions make me want to stab this polystyrene with a drawing pin, is what I want to do right now.
Man, you really want to stab that thing.
It's really satisfying. You have no idea. Like, there's just enough resistance for it to be satisfying, but it goes right through the top.
I'm pretty sure that's how serial killers feel.
It's great. It's really good.
What are you doing?
Stabbing a polystyrene container.
Masturbating.
With this pin. With this pin right here. It's great. It's really fun. It's a good stress reliever. I'm going to keep it here.
There's things called stress reliever toys, too.
Yeah, but they don't have sharp edges.
balls?
Sharp edges. Yeah. Way more fun.
I didn't realize that map hacks got you so riled up.
Fuck those guys. Oh, have I been playing anything else? Obviously a bit more Hearthstone, as per usual. I reinstalled Mountain Blade, because I wanted to try the Lord of the Rings mod for it. And it seems kind of cool, but the way that the orcs talk to you in ye olde English and are very polite really put me off it. Like,
dude, come on, man. What about in WoW? They had the two-headed ogre that was like totally like chill with you in that one camp. Remember that? Like that the guy who was just like, he was talking in perfect English in it was to the east of the Barrens in one of those camps.
Yeah.
There was a two. Yeah. There was a two-headed ogre, and he was like talking perfect English and stuff.
Yeah, but it was unusual. Like, in this, you wander into Isengard, and everyone inside the Isengard Tower, like, full of orcs, is speaking in perfect English and being very polite to you, which makes very little sense whatsoever. Even Saruman is quite polite.
Well, I guess they took the term more work very impressive.
Want to hang out?
Wait, more wood.
Yeah, it's something along those lines. So I'm like, maybe not. Maybe I'll just... I think there's a Game of Thrones mod for Warband that I might try instead. See how that one goes. And speaking of screwing people over, I've also been playing a bunch more Dominion. I managed to get my wife to play Dominion with me, and it was pretty great. And I also got Chris to play it as well. And I played a little bit of the online client, and then made a video of it, and then we broke the online client for a week. by doing that.
Oops.
So, yeah, we kind of overloaded the servers. I think they're okay now, but yeah, we've been playing a ton of that. We played Dark Ages, which is like probably the most it seemed like the most complicated of the add-ons for it, and things got a little bit silly after a while because Dark Ages has a bunch of different mechanics, including the notion that you start off without estates. You start off with a bunch of shelters which have different effects. It is also a game where you trash a lot of cards and put them in the trash pile, and it's also a game that has 10 knights, and when you buy the knights, you buy a knight from the top of the pile, and each knight does a slightly different thing. So you end up using knights to fuck over everybody else. But there's also a combination of cards which can just break the game completely. Chris managed to play his entire deck in one turn through those combinations of cards. He's like,
crazy.
There's this combo we did. There's a card called Procession, right? Which says, play one action card twice and count the effects twice. Then trash that action card and replace it with a card. I think this is how it works. If I recall correctly, replace it with a card that is exactly one coin more valuable. Okay? But there's a card called Fortress, which says, if you trash this, put it back into your hand. So what you do is, you keep playing the fucking thing over and over again. Combo it together, because the Fortress gives you extra actions. So if you have enough of those things, you can play your entire deck in one turn. And I'm just like, God damn it! This is silly. But it's really cool. And I'm now looking into other games that have similar mechanics. I got a game called Quarriors on the iPad, which is a dice game. But it's a dice building game. So you start off with crappy dice, and you buy better dice from the collective pile.
Speaking of iPad, I got a notification today on my Tweetster that you did a video. My Tweetster. That you did WTF is on Kingdom Rush.
Yes,
because it came out for Steam.
Yeah, it came on Steam yesterday. Well, it was on green light because they said we're going to completely redo the engine because this thing's been in 3 different engines, right? It started off on Flash. Yeah, it was a Flash game and Armor games. Then it went on iPad in a different engine, and then they redid it in Unity. Yeah.
It is a fantastic iPad game. It's one of my absolute favorites.
Yes, but you should. But right now, you should not buy it on PC right now.
Yeah, and I was about to say, like, what would it be like on PC? Because iPad is great. You just punch it.
Well, it's a tower defense, so it works absolutely fine, because that's where tower defense started, you know?
Why would you need to buy it on PC when there's a Flash version of it?
That's what I was
wondering. The PC version's a bit better. Like, you get all of the content, and you pay $8 right now, you get all of the content, which would otherwise cost you $8 anyway. There's no microtransactions like the iPad version, so that's completely gone.
What? You get all the guys for free?
Yeah, you get all the guys. Well, free, you know.
Is this an infomercial?
Yeah.
Have we done this?
Game.
Yeah.
What have we done?
But there's a slight problem with the game right now.
Is it bad?
And that is that they made some horrible mistakes when coding this in Unity. You remember that thing I talked about with Need for Speed a while ago, where the frame rate changes the simulation speed of the game?
Uh-huh.
Guess what? It happens in fucking Kingdom Rush as well.
Oh,
so
nice.
I downloaded the game, and I was like, okay, I'm going to play through a few levels. Bear in mind, I'd already played it on iPad, so I was like way through the game on that. I was like, I could totally ace this. And I do level 1, like, okay. Do level 2, and it's like, this is a little harder than I remember. And then I got to level 3, after eventually, like, beating 3-starring level 2. And I'm like, whoa, that was way harder than I remember. Let's go to level 3, and I cannot beat it. I'm like, what is happening? And then I realize the game is running at twice the speed it's supposed to run at. However, the towers are firing at the same speed as they regularly do.
What?
So there's, like, the enemies are moving twice as quickly, but the towers are half as effective.
Hardcore mode, go.
Yeah, it pretty much is like pro MLG hardcore mode.
Gotta get them cannons up, yo. Gotta get them cannons up.
No, it won't help. It will not help. Like, Jesse, do you have 120 hertz monitors?
I do, yes.
Okay, if you download Kingdom Rush, because they said they're going to fix it today, I think if you download Kingdom Rush, what's going to happen is it's going to set your frame rate to half of your refresh rate, which is the dumbest shit ever. So if you're on a regular monitor, a 60 hertz monitor, it runs at 30 FPS, which is the intended speed. I mean, fuck 30 FPS gaming on PC, but you get the idea. If you play it on a 120 hertz monitor, it's 60 frames per second. The game runs at twice the speed, but the towers fire at the same pace.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
it sucks, but that's really funny.
I did an experiment on stream where I used fraps to artificially lower the frame rate. I lowered the frame rate to 15 FPS. Towers fire at the same fucking speed. Everything moves half as slow. I lowered it to 2 frames per second. Everyone moves like this. Towers fire at the same fucking speed. it literally makes the game completely beatable with only a single tower, because the tower fires at the same speed, but the fucking minions don't move that way.
That is fantastic.
That's awesome.
Oh, God. So, yeah, they said they're going to fix it today, but it looks like their fix is going to be to lock it to 30 FPS, which to me is like, oh, come on, guys. You know, fix your coding. There was even some guys who posted on my subreddit when we put the video up that know Unity and knew exactly what they'd done wrong. Like, apparently there's some variables within Unity that break that. Let's find it, actually. I'm interested to know.
I feel like this is one of those things where I can safely say, if you own an iPad, buy this game, it's great.
Oh, totally. Absolutely.
But I don't know if there's a reason to get it on your PC, but whatever. Because it's literally like every other tower defense game that ever existed. And if you own any Warcraft or StarCraft games, you have built-in tower defense games.
A lot of good ones. Yeah. Like Warcraft 3, Cry, you were mentioning Uther Party. You've probably played the TDs in Warcraft 3 as well, right?
Yeah, those were fun.
Wintermore Wars.
They were fun.
You remember Wintermore Wars? That was fucking badass.
Yeah, and I lost.
Yeah, I lost that all the time. But that was one of those, it was a competitive TD. That was the coolest thing about it. Like, the stuff that you bought, you had to buy minions in order to increase your income, but then those minions attacked the other guy. It was fucking brilliant. It was so much fun.
It's kind of like playing Bomberman, and then you lose, and then you get to throw bombs at everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's actually nothing like that, but I like that concept. Also, random note, I was looking at chat. Someone said Hearthstone is made in Unity. Is that right?
I heard that, actually.
Is it really?
Apparently so. Someone said it, and then chat's always right. So
chat's rarely ever right. But I did actually hear this from... I was talking to some map editors for StarCraft 2, and I heard that it was actually built in Unity.
Why? Because they knew it was going to go to tablet? Or...
Probably. Yeah, it's... According to Unity 3D Forum last year, they said Blizzard's Hearthstone is made with Unity. And then there's a Reddit thread that says, is it just me? But it could just be a prototype. Like, people were thinking the prototype was made in Unity and then it was ported to another engine. But it's hard to say.
Well, chat's confirming that they are right, so...
Oh, great. Apparently,
Go on, chat.
The Wikipedia article does say that it was made in Unity. So
that's cool.
So if we trust Wikipedia, then yeah, it's a Unity game. I mean, a lot of great things are made in Unity, honestly. It's a good engine. And
well, there's a lot of great things, but there's also a lot of bad things.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where a lot of people can get into, but a lot of people don't know how to really use it. So it gets a bad rap sometimes, but when it gets a good rap, it really does get a good rap.
Yeah, because you can... Originally, I think Unity had a really bad reputation of kind of being a browser engine where you had these really crappy games that were made in it that looked terrible, but there's actually a bunch of Unity games that look amazing, and are really, really nicely put together. But sometimes there are problems with it, like the developer doesn't use the right options menu, for instance, and just has those presets, which are not really all that great. There's that, and then there's stuff like with... Kingdom Rush, where they didn't do the simulation speed properly.
Oh, Kingdom Rush.
Yeah.
Oh, Kingdom Rush.
Oops.
Oopsie daisy.
Yeah, I'm just going to try this, because I think just before we go to a break, by the way, we've been trying to add some subscriber-only emotes, you can use these anywhere on Twitch, by the way. I have added one. I'm not sure if it works yet, but I'm going to try it.
You can use all mine, guys. There's one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a bit for it to go in, I know.
It does, yeah. So mine might not work yet, and I think I need to change the name of it, because Chris picked the name, and that was very silly. There we go. I don't know if you can see that in the chat.
Nope.
Yeah, nope. You can't.
Nope.
Just a cynical TV.
Yeah, it shows up for me, but yeah, it'll populate soon. That is the laughing gif, the laughing image of me that's on Team Liquid. Gotcha. I can see it when Noble... yeah, I can see it, but it hasn't fully populated yet. But yeah, there'll be more emotes that are coming in. So that's that. So I don't think I've played anything else, really. No, that's been about it for this week. Which is a little depressing. I'm waiting...
Video games.
Video games.
Just seeing this everywhere in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, Cynical TB currently does not work, but it will. And I need to change that name because that's a terrible name for it. All right. We're going to go to the break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about news, which is mostly going to be CES stuff. You're currently watching the Co-optional Podcast. Do not go anywhere.
The only thing I know about it.
Oh, God. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-Optional Podcast.
Hello.
We were talking about pee funnels.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
And I said it's disgusting. I said it's weird and disgusting. And
No,
they
you
said,
didn't. You didn't
they
say
said-
disgusting. You said weird. You just kept
They
saying
said- they
weird
said-
over and over again.
They said, why is it weird? I don't even need to...
Look, sometimes girls need to pee standing up.
Yeah, man.
No.
What if they got back
So you
problems?
have pee funnels. Yeah.
Where do you keep your pee funnel then? It doesn't look. It's disgusting.
We
It's
have
disgusting.
purses. Where else are you going
look.
to keep a pee funnel?
Sit down or hover over that seat like you were born to do.
That's me.
Oh.
And live.
My
So-
cat
look,
plays with
women-
the one of
It
you.
is your fault. You caused this to happen.
No, we were talking about boys versus girls. Cause Cry said sometimes he wishes he was a woman, and I said there was a point in my life where I
Welcome back to the
context,
Co-Optional
that sounds
Podcast,
so-
ladies and gentlemen. Starting off our CES coverage right here.
God damn.
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast.
you only let me get out the part that incriminates you. Not the part
Exactly.
about me at all.
Perfect. Just perfect.
I love you, Cry.
Yeah, I know.
Cry, you're great.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, no, I know.
Whatever.
No,
Just
you
take your
can't see it,
pee
but
All the
bubble and
ladies
go
love
away.
me.
Wonderful.
Single tear.
Wonderful. All right, let's talk about CES. So the first thing coming out of CES that has got a lot of people up in a tizzy because it has Valve involved in it in some way are the first wave of Steam machines, of which there are, I believe, about 14 right now.
13, 14, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was to be expected. I mean, we've been waiting for the longest time to find out what Steam machines will actually be available. We've known for a long time what the partners would be and who would be involved in the creation of these things. And now we finally do have a list of the 13 Steam machines and their different configurations and price models as well.
I was just about to say, I think we all expected this to happen, but I did not expect this many, and I didn't expect quite a range of prices.
Can I bring up something that I think is really interesting? I don't know what you guys expected. I thought that people who were going to make Steam machines would, use mini ATX or ITX cases, the usual tiny
Yeah.
cases.
Like
But
tiny.
I didn't think that companies would use those exact same cases and just sell it as a put together product. I thought they'd be a little bit more creative. Especially like things like Alienware. Alienware's one is literally they just took an InWin case and put an Alienware logo
Put an
on
alien
it.
logo on it.
The Web Halen one is just a BitPhoenix case, and they didn't even remove the BitPhoenix logo. Like they took things that people could make, and are like, we're gonna charge you 3 times as much because we made it.
I like the iBuyPower one. It looks like a Tron thing.
That's what, like there are a few of them that went above and beyond, but for the majority of them, I thought they were gonna be like legit, really cool looking things, and only a few of them are actually really any good. The one that is it the iBuyPower one?
Yeah.
The iBuyPower one is pretty cool. The
I like the
CyberPower one.
CyberPower.
They've got a lot of them have gone for the console look, which to me is
Yeah.
indicative of what they're actually trying to do. They're trying. If we go back to the discussion that we had about Steam boxes previously, is what's the intention of these things? And looking at these initial Steam boxes, I think the intention is abundantly clear. This thing is supposed to go onto your TV,
Yeah.
and there's no other
It's
reason
not
to buy
supposed to
it.
feel like a computer. It's supposed to feel like a console.
Yes,
The
That's
Zotac
like a
looks
big
like a
PC.
router.
Is a better way to say it.
some of the the Zotac one.
Yeah, it's like a freaking router.
it actually kind of does. There's
It does. That's funny.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, many of them look like just. It's so weird. Many of them look like just PCs that already exist on the market, which I guess is the point. But I thought that if you were a company, you could have we're gonna make a case that works with this, and we're gonna have. I figured there'd be something better, but I guess I was just hoping a lot.
architecturally, some of it's quite interesting, but some of the stuff isn't. Like, there are ones that are basically just PCs that are already available that have been rebranded in some way that are slightly smaller than, say, a Cosmos 2. Then there's the ones that look very interesting, like the Zotac one, which does actually look like a router, but the reason that it looks like that, I assume, is because that's supposed to help the Wi-Fi in the bloody thing. There's the Gigabyte one is, I think, the smallest by the looks of it. And that is also going to be the least powerful as well, I would imagine. But that's an actual thing that you could see someone putting under their TV, as is the Cyberpower one, the iBuyPower one, and possibly the Alienware one, depending on how large that really is.
What is the 3XS Systems? That one? Do you see? It looks like a portable USB 3.0 drive or something like that.
What am I looking at here?
It's this long. It's like the silver one, flat and silver. If you scroll through them, there's a flat and silver one.
Okay.
It says 3XS Systems.
Okay.
I don't know who.
I don't know who's done that, considering that's not listed on the spec sheet.
Oh,
anywhere.
you mean the scan one?
Is that by Scan?
Yeah.
Oh, the one that looks like a hard drive.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That looks really.
That's
I like the way that
pretty
looks.
nice.
Yeah.
You could beat someone with that.
You could. I like the nice chrome look. Is pretty cool there.
Yeah, I think that's great. There's a few of them that really stand out. Like what I think is really funny is the Cyberpower and the iBuyPower ones have basically said, we're going to be the Xbox and you guys can be the PlayStation. That's pretty much what they look like.
Yeah,
That's
and
very
honestly, spec-wise and price-wise, that's the really interesting thing, because what you're seeing is that both Cyberpower and iBuyPower are both shooting for the $500 and up price bracket. So they're aiming it squarely at the Xbox One, and they're also saying for $500, you get a machine that can actually compete with that.
Plus, three USB 3s in the front of that one. I mean, I'm trying to figure out which one this is. God, Cyberpower, I think. I mean, those are the ones that are creative. A lot of them just look like computers that we put stuff in.
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty disappointed in stuff like the Falcon Northwest one. Not that I really expected much from Falcon Northwest, but also which one? The Digital Storm one, I'm pretty disappointed in as well. Price-wise, there's really, aside from them having SteamOS put on them already, which makes it slightly cheaper than having Windows, those boxes are big enough that they would go under a desk, not under a TV.
Yes,
this is the size of a regular person's PC. So at that point, you're thinking, hang on a minute. So Steam Machines is aiming at, those Steam Machines are aiming at what exactly?
The Alienware is literally just the in-win case on its side, basically. And
but it's still small, though, right? That's a small case.
It's still very small, but it's strange to me because I don't know why they wouldn't design something a little bit more in line with what they already have, because they already have a very thin, very tiny computer tower. I don't know what it's called.
The X51?
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about? That's still pretty large. Like, that's larger than Xbox One.
Along those lines, I think, you could easily stand it up next to the TV if they have something similar to it and shrunk it. Like, there's a lot of things they could have done. Instead, they picked an already existing design and just stuck a logo on. I'm like,
I just don't know why they didn't make the Okama Game Sphere. Could have been beautiful.
Could have been amazing.
Instead, they went with rectangles and boxes again.
There are a lot of boxes going on right here, I've got to say.
The Gigabyte one is literally a box. It's a black box.
It really is. It looks freaking gross, actually.
I don't know why you would want that. I guess, if you're minimalist, but
It's like a surge protector to me.
yeah, I don't know.
The Digital Storm Bolt 2 looks like a bigger version of, I think it's either the Cyberpower or the iBuyPower Revolt, I think, that was used at MLG for the longest time. Looks like a bigger version of that. Looks-wise, though, I mean, it doesn't really matter. If it's going to be shoved under your television, who the hell cares? But if you want to look at the specs, then the thing that interests me most, as I said, is the $500 model, yeah? Or $600. The Zotac one is $600, although they haven't announced any of the specs on it at all, which is completely useless. So they're saying, all right, it's going to be $600, but we have no idea what's going to be in it. Great, cool. But if we look at the iBuyPower one, well, actually, the Cyberpower one has the most specifics. They're saying an i5, 8 gigs of RAM, 500 gig hard drive, and an AMD Radeon R9 270 or a GTX 760.
In a small form factor for $500, that's not bad. That's not bad.
That's pretty. I mean, specs wise, obviously the comparison is going to come out in the next couple of days. But if I were to guess, I'd say specs wise, that gives better performance than Xbox One does. Definitely.
Yeah.
Don't know about a PS4, but definitely better than Xbox One, surely.
I think the big two standouts are definitely iBuyPower and Cyberpower. I think if you like flare and shit coming off your thing, the Cyberpower one's pretty cool. And if you're a minimalist, the iBuyPower one, because it's just black with that blue neon light, which is I think that's pretty awesome.
I like that.
I like that one a lot. Yeah.
It's very PlayStation 4-esque.
And the fourth image, you can see that it's actually levitating, so it comes with anti-gravity technology, so it's really important.
I wonder if that actually increases the price tag in any way. That's a bit considered. Could I get it without the anti-gravity? I'm just worried that during a gaming session it'll just float away and it just gets sick of what I'm doing.
That's why you put it under your TV, so it can only go up so high.
Ah, okay. So, but during recording, it would be battering the top of the thing. That would make a lot of noise.
Well,
Think about the applications with horror games, though. That would be amazing. So you get to a scary part, and the machine literally flies right at you.
No, don't say
Brilliant.
that.
It's terrifying.
It's dead steampunk space.
Yes, that's exactly what it
Cyberpower
is.
1 sort of looks like a mech, kind of. Like it has mech armor. I like it. I like all those two. I think are really creative, and you can tell they put some time into like we need that money and we're gonna get that money.
Yeah.
A lot of it's like let's just cram it in a box, which I guess you can't blame a lot of people because
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you blame those people.
All right. Yeah, apparently we can do. Dodger was
I
spoken.
won't blame
Excellent.
those people.
it's done. It's
But
done.
I would kind of blame them because I don't even know if they could have done a lot more with it. Because if everyone goes for the same kind of thing, if everyone tries to nail that $500 price point, you get super competitive, which is great for consumers at any rate. But the thing about Steam machines is that the more I look at Steam machines, the more of a brand it is and the less of an actual thing it is. It's just
Yeah.
it's an umbrella for everything to go underneath. Yeah, the only thing that really keeps them together, I was gonna say form factor, but that's clearly not the case anymore because these things are massively varied in form factor. The only thing that is really keeping them together is they're officially sold with Steam OS built in. Yeah, that's the only thing, and they haven't even talked about the streaming. And none of these boxes. This is the really weird thing. How many of these boxes are actually designed for streaming? Because I'm going to go with
a whole nother level. Yeah.
fucking none of them. Like, look at the specs of these things. I thought it would be the Gigabyte one, the Brix Pro, which is a very, very accurate name, I think, for it. But
yeah, it is.
this is this tiny little box, and they go, oh, so that's the streaming box. The motherfucker's got an i7 in it. It's got a 4770R. It doesn't need to stream anything. But yet, it doesn't have an actual graphics card. It's got an Iris Pro 5200, which is the onboard. So that's a... Why the fuck does it have a 4770R in it? I mean, that's got a lot of horsepower. So that can't be the streaming machine. I mean, if you were going to make this streaming box, which is what was part of the Steam machine's whole idea, you'd have something that was less costly, smaller, quieter, and less specs. And I think the only thing that really fits into that here is the Scan one, the NC10. That's got an i3 in it. So I'm like, oh, that's the streaming box. No, motherfucker's got a 765M in it and costs over $1,000. So no, it isn't.
Yeah.
This leaves me kind of even more confused than where I was in the first place with it. And all I'm saying is, oh, it's a bunch of PCs with the word Steam on them. All right.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
why I'm like, why? SteamOS is free. Like, why not just build it yourself?
Yeah, I'll stick
Well.
to my computer.
I
Well,
don't understand.
I understand the market of buying pre-builds because I bought a pre-build before and it was a good experience because I can build my own, but it's a hassle. And I prefer having a warranty on it. You know, I had like 3 years gold coverage on it. When one of my hard drives went out, the next day there was a courier on the front doorstep with a new hard drive ready to take my old one.
Gateway
That-
PC, yo.
I got it through PC
G.
Specialist, actually.
G.
Yeah, I did my...
Nice fingers.
Gee.
But yeah, PC Specialist did that, and it's like, okay, I can see the value of a pre-build here. Yeah, I paid more for it, but they built it better quality than I could have because I'm a clumsy fuck, and they gave me, good guarantees on the actual parts. So to me,
But if it's just to be able to have SteamOS in something, right? Like, I don't understand. Like,
Well-
with a PC that you're going to do so much with, I get it. But
But even and the crazy thing now is especially today, there are many local places that you can go where if you buy all the parts for a PC, and which will cost you thousands less than getting it pre-built, you can go to
it
a
won't
place that's
cost you
like
thousands less. That's nonsense. Like, honestly, if you took the specs off this CyberPower PC and you put this into PC Part Picker, I cannot imagine it's going to cost that much less. In fact, I'm going to try doing that right now.
I'm talking about a good PC that has multiple uses. Not, I wasn't.
I'm thinking
An i5 with a 760 will do pretty much anything, Jesse.
the
outside
general
of encoding.
idea I'm
Go,
getting
Greg,
from this
sorry.
whole thing. It's all good.
Yes,
Generally, I'm getting the general idea I'm getting from this is just. I think this is just made for people who aren't, used to PCs and they want to like try to get into PC gaming. So this isn't really for us, but this is for people who want to branch into the PC, market and try that out instead of just being a console person. So this is like all like, I mean, this is going to sound cocky as hell, but beneath us in terms of just like what we would use,
I said it before. I'll say it again. This is the market that doesn't exist. They're selling this to people it's such a small market. I don't know next year we won't be talking about it. I'm convinced of it. It won't be an issue. Like 3D TVs, it won't be an issue next year. Next year CES, no one will give a shit.
Wow.
Dude, you want to get a Nuya?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where there's so much hype built around this, and it will be a non-thing because the market doesn't. I can't think of anyone. If you're playing a console, you're playing a console. If you're playing on a PC, you already have the PC. You're playing with it. There's a very small niche market that's gonna be like, I just bought an Xbox One, but I might give this whole Steam thing a try. No, it's stupid.
I will disagree with you, but I'm doing my PC part picking thing right now, so I'm taking basically the cheapest PC I can under those specs and trying to build it for the same price. So you guys keep talking about that, and then I'll disagree with you on this whole thing.
I don't. There's no one. There's no one that I know who thinks this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. I'm so excited.
Can we play the ridiculous thing at CES game while TB's building that? Jesse, if you were going to bring a really ridiculous idea to CES, what would it be?
Curved TVs. That's what I would do because that's the stupidest effing thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Oddly enough, they're there.
When I saw curved TVs, I said, that's great for the one person in the middle. Just like an IMAX, if you're in the middle, that is a very good experience. If you're on the end, it is distorted and weird and stupid. And just like at home, if you have a tiny-ass TV, it's going to be 10 times worse, and everyone on the couch at the end is going to get screwed. So, is that a fox? Do you own a fox?
Holy shit, is that a Shiba Inu?
Yes.
Is that a Shiba Inu? What?
Shiba Inu.
Oh, God.
Princess TB,
Nice.
you look so fetching.
Princess.
Now we just
Go
need the
back to
two-step.
sleep.
Go back to sleep.
I brought you
Your
this
queen
crown
demands
and
it.
this doge.
Yeah, you brought me a dog. Yeah, that's now the dog's just going to destroy my room and is really, really confused about what's going on.
That's
Yeah.
right, Avo
Listen
Hodge.
to people.
I don't know anyone who needs it.
Address
I know
the
a lot of
nation.
people.
Hello, puppy.
Address the nation.
Hello. It's
Hi.
me, your queen.
Hi, dog.
This is not going well. Here, have it.
Hello.
No.
Take your tiara and run.
Is that a drink right there or not?
Uh,
That probably is a drink, all right.
Yeah.
wow. So
Yeah.
we've had the cuteness proximity of the show.
Did you
That's
build your
great.
PC yet?
Yeah, no, I was getting to it, and then I was interrupted by a dog. I got a sec.
Okay, let's talk more about curved TVs.
Yeah, feel free.
They're the worst.
So
And I'll
TVs.
disagree with you.
Ideas. Stupidest idea. And
I don't know
they
anything about them except Michael Bay. That's all I know
Except
about
they're
them. So.
curved. Like I tweeted, even Michael Bay couldn't think of anything off the top of his head to say good about them. He just was like, screw it. If I don't have a teleprompter, I've got to go. That's how stupid they are. Michael Bay doesn't even use scripts in his movies, and he still couldn't come up with anything. He walked away. That's how dumb they are. Curved TVs they're just like 3D TVs, unnecessary. Unnecessary.
I can see where it might be interesting for like use as a monitor for someone who wants to do like multi-monitors or something like that, but just
different,
as a
yes.
monitor.
Yeah.
But not as a
That's 'cause
television.
Not as a TV,
It's
though.
one
Yeah.
person. You don't have 12 people sitting on your lap as you try to edit a video or play video games. It's you. One person curved is great. And if you're
Yeah.
by yourself, and if you're like a homebody and it's just you, a one-person curved TV would probably be wonderful.
A
But
one-person curved TV watching pornography is an amazing experience, I bet.
I bet it's
Probably.
just- if it's a 3D curved TV, you might as well just jack in like the Matrix because you ain't never leaving. But
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
I'd like to
Yes.
interrupt you now. So far, I'm about halfway down the PC part picker list. I don't have a case yet, and I don't have a power supply. I assume these things probably don't have optical drives, but those two things. And I'm currently at $530, and that's with promo codes and discounts. And that's to get a the pretty much the cheapest i5 that I could find, maybe I've done this wrong, is the i5 4430, which is a 3 gigahertz quad core. And I then got the cheapest RAM I could, the cheapest motherboard I could, the shittiest cooler I could find for $8. A shitty hard drive, the Toshiba 5400 RPM laptop drive, with just 500 gigs. And then the cheapest R9 270. And that took me down to $530. So if they're able to put that together in a box that works with SteamOS with those specs for $500, one, how? Two, that's pretty fucking great.
Yeah.
Like, if you're building a budget PC, you are actually better off buying that than building the PC yourself.
Not buying the Falcon. Ignore the Falcon.
No.
With
Yeah,
the other
fuck the
ones.
Falcon.
Yeah. No, but at that 500...
6,000
this
Uzis.
this is where things get interesting, because at this $500 price point, I don't think you can actually build a PC that is as good as that for that price. Either that, or you build it for about the same price, and you don't get the nice form factor.
Right.
So
Just don't do Falcon or Digital Storm. They're both pretty up there. But,
they're really expensive.
yeah.
And I mean, they always have been. Anyway, so according to PC Part Picker, unless I've messed up somewhere and there's an infinitely cheaper R9 270 or i5 available, which I'm pretty sure there isn't, then as far as I can tell, you are not going to be able to build that machine for that price on your own. It cannot happen.
You know what I think? I think if those guys really want our support, they should send us one of them
Yeah. And people are like, oh, you need to switch to an AMD CPU.
so we can review it.
Yeah, but they said it's an i5. Like, they're talking about an i5 here, but even if I switch to an AMD, it's still not that cheap. Like,
Jesse,
unless you had a really rubbish AMD CPU in there.
Hey, Cry. Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great if they sent us a free Steam machine?
Dude, they should probably send us a free Steam machine. Maybe like
I think that'd be great. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, like
because
the iBuy
because I, unlike TB, I don't buy it. I don't buy the hype, and I need to be convinced.
Yeah,
with the
dude,
free
hype dog.
Steam- with the free Steam machine.
Dude, yeah, free Steam machine, and then we can promote their product for freezies.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would do. If you scratch my back, I'll scratch your balls.
Don't scratch their balls; they're probably steamy.
Steam machine, buy it now.
Oh, got it. Everyone drink. Everyone take a drink.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's currently listed as AMD/Intel Core i5, so it could mean that the $500 one is the AMD one. Even then, even with that, with the AMD Radeon, that probably knocks about $100 off it, and then you've got to add the case, and you've got to add the power supply as bare minimums. So you're going to be around $500 anyway, regardless of whether or not you do that. But if you have it with the R9 270 and an i5 in it, it's going to be above $500. I mean, I don't know. It really comes down to how cheap they can actually make it. Anyway, and people are saying, well, they won't be upgradable. But how will they not be upgradable? It's just a different sized case. It's still a real... They're still regular components. These things are not proprietary.
You know what will be upgradable?
But then that all... I mean, Steam OS then is... I don't...
No, Cry,
I don't,
apparently we don't know. We don't know at all.
You want to know?
No.
I think,
Well, maybe.
the best way to know is to get a free one sent to us by iBuy Power. Whichever one sends it to us, that's the one we'll endorse. iBuy Power, Cyber Power. Which one of you is going to step up to the plate?
Oh, I was just opening the door to go to the Razer Christine, but that's cool too.
Oh,
Because
shit!
that's upgradable.
You know what I would
Probably
like?
shouldn't have insulted Falcon Northwest. They might have sent you the $6,000 one.
I didn't want to address them because they're so awesome. I didn't know how to. I don't talk to cool people like that very often, so I got a little nervous. But let's talk about the Christine.
Let's not do that. Because I'm not done yet.
That thing is.
No,
Okay, we're not done yet.
Not done yet.
We'll do that in a minute.
I haven't
or
got
two.
around to disagreeing with you, Jesse. All
Do
right.
that in 5 to 30 minutes. We're going to talk about Christine for sure.
All right, Jesse,
Love
I
that
disagree with your assertion that there isn't a market for this.
Okay.
The reason I disagree with that
yeah.
assertion is that I feel there is an area of the market that absolutely wants to play games on their TV. And they probably own a big-ass expensive TV. Okay?
Okay.
Yep.
And they want to play it on something better than a console. But right now, one, they can't build it. Two, the form factor isn't there. Three, the OS that really supports a television isn't there. So they're gonna buy a more expensive Steam machine in order to do that. Why do you think they wouldn't?
Who are these people though?
Well, bachelors would be a great example. Young
There's
professionals middle class families.
I don't. I feel like I don't know that there are that many of those people, because there are a lot of people who have a TV and a computer. If they're in the same room, they like having the TV on and playing on the computer. They like the background noise with that. So by playing on the TV, they negate their ability to watch whatever.
Yeah, but generally speaking, if we're talking about the living room space here, right? Because that's what Valve is currently going for. They want the living room space where you probably wouldn't have your computer.
Well, if they have the living room space, then I would be. I mean, like the reason why you don't play a lot of things like this, yeah. There's a lot.
Dodger, you're a spinster. You don't count.
but even then, there's on a normal computer, a lot of people are more connected to things they do on there, like Twitter or Tumblr or Facebook, or they're using like chat features. They're watching streams. And they're talking with people, and a lot of that you can't do sitting on your TV with like that ridicule mouse thingamajig or whatever, that controller where you're just rubbing the nipples on the controller like that.
That didn't stop any of those things coming to the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, which doesn't even have that.
Yeah, but nobody, like, I know that I immediately deleted Skype from my Xbox One. I was like, well, I'm never going to use this shit. And a lot of people don't. And it's just there because it's part of their marketing.
Right. So if only there was some kind of handheld device that would effectively allow you to use Twitter and Skype. And it's a piece of technology. Ah!
So in order to play with the SteamOS on the Steam Box, you need to buy an iPad as well.
No, you jackass! What logical leap is that? Fuck! If you went to the Olympics with that leap, if you went to the Olympics with those mental gymnastics, you would be drowning in gold medals right now. They would dope test you for these mental gymnastics.
Maybe they should pull out their thing then.
Maybe they should pull out their fucking smartphone and tweet on that. You're talking about the idea that people will not use a Steam box in their living room because they're too attached to Twitter and Facebook, which they are probably doing on their phone.
People like ease, and that is a lot of bullshit. That's a lot of like, I gotta do this. People like having it on the computer. I'm talking about computer people. I'm not talking about the guys who are like, I have my controller or whatever for my Xbox. Those people are good. They just bought new consoles. I don't know why they would upgrade. The people who are looking up.
Who said they bought new consoles?
There's a very small market of people who haven't bought new consoles who would consider buying new consoles.
There's not a very small market of people who haven't bought new consoles. There's a shitload of people who haven't bought new consoles.
I'm telling you wrong. You're flat out wrong. It's gonna.
No, that's ridiculous. Like, Xbox One has currently only sold 3 million units. You want to know how much that's compared to the actual sales of the Xbox 360?
How many people?
Because I can tell you.
You're not thinking economics. You're not thinking. A lot of people I know are still buying Xbox 360s. I just talked to do it the other day.
So when they finally come around to upgrade, if they look at the lineups and they say, all right, so I can get an Xbox One, I can get a PlayStation 4, or I could maybe, if I have some interest in PC, get a Steam machine. This thing
called the Steam Box, which to me, I don't know. Like, I'm Johnny guy on the street.
What you're talking about is a marketing problem, not a functionality issue.
Go with PlayStation, a name I trust, or Steam Box. They aren't gonna buy Steam Box. Dude. Even if people are like, "Oh, Steam Box is great," I disagree.
Really?
Entirely.
Like, if you go and if you talk about something like a pre-built PC, you talk about Dell or Alienware. Those are kind of brands that people actually do know. Maybe they don't buy them necessarily, but they do know about them. So it's entirely possible for a well-marketed pre-build to actually have some kind of public interest.
I don't know that the people shopping for Dell and stuff like that would say, you know what, I would like the Steam Box instead of just a normal laptop.
Really? Because Dell owns Alienware and has been heavily pushing the brand on that for the past 5 years, trying to get people to buy them. So I imagine there is a market for it. Cry, go ahead.
All right, I could see this easily happening. You got, every family, or a lot of families at least, have this one guy who's really into computers. He knows all of his stuff. And then he's got all these family members who have no idea what's going on. And he wants to introduce them to all these really cool PC titles that they've never had the chance to play before because they have no idea what's going on. So he's like, you know what? For Christmas this year, I'm going to buy you something you don't know what the hell's going on with. So he gets him a Steam Box, so then he can actually experience things like, insert PC game that's not on consoles here. Well, I was going to say Witcher 2, but that's already
It isn't even just about playing games that are just on PC. It's about playing games that are on console, but better. Like, oh, you want to play Assassin's Creed 4 at higher than...
That's a pretty game on PC.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't run that well, but let's say you want to play Devil May Cry. You can run Devil May Cry on... I could do it on my fucking tablet at a higher frame rate than the console version runs at. So you're on a Steam box, you can run even better. It's like, oh look, the game looks better, it plays better, it's faster, and I'm not paying that much more for it. Jesse, in my opinion, what you're talking about here is the idea that you could drive everywhere in a shitty Kia, right? But plenty of people own sports cars. Why? They both do the same thing, but there's still a fucking huge market for sports cars. It's like, why are people driving around in these? I'm not even talking necessarily about Ferraris here. I'm talking about a Mustang, you know? It's not a Mustang. You don't need a fucking Mustang. You can drive around in a Honda Accord, and it'll do the same thing as a Mustang will do.
That is an fallacy in your argument, my friend.
Okay, where's the analogy? All right, what's the problem with my analogy?
Cars you visibly show off, and people don't see you when they see the car. They see the car, and then they make assumptions about who's driving based on who's driving that car. And that's why people buy sports cars, because they like the idea of being seen as a big shot in their awesome car. And
oh, wow.
Totally
Did you just stereotype every sports car owner on the planet?
Yes.
Dodger, you do this every week?
People buy.
It's amazing.
Buy cars.
I just sit.
It's so cool.
People buy cars because they like the way the car looks, and they're showing off their badass car. That's why people trick out their cars and they get shitty little Hondas and make
Okay,
them
so when
giant-
my friend's over and it's like, oh, let's play some video games. Oh, I'll just fire up my Steam box. Look at how much better it looks on my fucking Steam box compared to your shitty console. Is that not exactly the same thing?
That yeah, in a small scale, but the problem is that you are saying, hey guys, come over to my house, we're gonna play on the Steam box. And
Actually, I just say, come over to my house, we're gonna play some video games. They don't care what it's on.
I don't think that, I mean, you saying, hey guys, come over and check my stuff out is different than everyone will see me wherever I go, when I go, and I don't need to draw their attention because attention will be drawn to it. It's a different argument altogether.
I got it. All right. So, you know, here's the thing. You know how there's PC games that have local multiplayer and no one plays local multiplayer games on PC? Now they can.
Yep, that's true.
Cha-cha-cha.
Like, as in, someone might actually buy Samurai Gun, for instance.
I know.
Yeah.
And other games that have a local multiplayer.
For us to play Samurai Gun, yeah, we have to like pull the PC out into the living room at my friend's place and like plug in all the controllers.
Yeah,
I don't look. I'm not gonna stop, chat. You're all dummies. You're all dummies, and you are fanboys, and I hope you die. TB said that, so I refuse. I refuse to accept that this will be a good idea. I think it is inherently dumb, and I think it's a money grab by Valve. And I don't even care.
After 720p, it gets harder to spot the difference anyway, so it hardly matters. All right, TVs are getting bigger. TVs are getting higher resolution. You can absolutely tell the difference between 720p and 1080p. So I don't really see what the point is there. You can certainly tell the difference, and you can certainly tell the difference in frame rate. And it's not just resolution. It's like, you really think that these console games running at 720p or 600p are also running at maximum resolution? You even think they've got AA on them? You see the jaggies. You can see them from half the room away. There's way more you can do. It's more than just resolution. It's about texture quality. It's about actual fidelity. It's about running SSAO on fucking everything, and depth of field effects, and higher FOV, and everything else that you can do on a PC, and you can't do on a console. And it just looks better. It's like saying, hey, here's the Mona Lisa. Here's the shitty smartphone picture of the Mona Lisa. Which is better? Like, it's gonna be the fucking Mona Lisa!
Dude. I'm just, this is totally off topic, but you play games with such high FOV, man. It's like every game is Quake to you.
Fuck yeah. If I could go higher in Chivalry, I would have. I tell you.
It's like,
Every game is Quake.
Certain games, I'm sure you go it's so high that it like inverts. You know how that does that in some games? Or you see backwards.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic advantage in multiplayer. Hey, Cry, you saw how well we did in Chivalry.
I know.
The tournament
Your
that we won,
FOV
by the way.
really tore them apart, man.
Exactly. You can't handle that FOV.
Yeah.
I saw those guys. I'm like, oh, look at that. Look at their lack of vision. And you know what happened? They paid the price for their lack of vision.
They paid the iron price.
Oh no, stop. Game of Thrones! Game of Thrones coming back!
Oh yeah, it's coming back
In
like,
March.
March, yeah. I'm ready for it.
But don't forget to watch Hannibal in February.
It's literally 3 months away, guys.
Freezing already.
It's
Okay,
literally
so
3 months,
Jesse,
3 months away.
let's just kind of
Yes.
gotta finish the discussion. I think that,
Okay.
like, to some degree, I mean, you're obviously going to be right that people are not going to run out and buy Falcon Northwest $6,000 Steam boxes right off the bat, right? That's very much luxury, you know? That's the kind of thing that happens when someone buys a $6,000 speaker system or anything along those lines. Regular people don't do that. Regular people are okay with buying a 5.1 in a box or a sound bar and just going on with that, and that's fine for most people. But this $500 thing is what I find to be disruptive. The idea that if you market that well enough and people get into... It's about like kind of it being a gateway drug to PC gaming on your television, right? It's having the functionality, which is SteamOS, designed for the TV. It's about having an equivalent price point. It's about having a kind of equivalent even size and something that actually looks good. Plays the same games you can play on console, but gets you more games and gets you cheaper prices on those games because you're buying them from Steam. And then later down the line, when the next wave of Steam boxes comes out, people might think, oh, you know what? I like the Steam box thing. Maybe I should buy a bigger one. Maybe I should buy a more powerful one at that point. There are helicopters.
I think that the inherent problem with the Steam box is the platform which it runs. And I feel like that as a Steam machine,
I wonder if Dodge is deliberately ruining Jesse's train of thought here.
I'm sorry, what? Go on.
That the problem is that it is something that one is saying that we're going to offer you all of the games that you can already get with indies. So you get a bunch of indies you would not normally get. But Xbox and PlayStation are saying
like MMOs.
Xbox and PlayStation are saying, hey, we're going to get indies too. And PlayStation is saying we're going to have MMOs too. So you have all these companies that are saying we're going to all be in the same space together. And the big fight is going to come with the developers and who they're going to release games to first. And I'm convinced as the sun rises in the morning and sets in the evening that companies will go with their long-standing relationship with Xbox and PlayStation, and games will be released there earlier than they would on Steam. And so, just like now. And Steam, what's going to end up happening is they're going to say, oh yeah, no, we have that stuff. We're going to have to wait a little bit. And I don't think very many gamers who look at the two differences are going to say, well, I'm willing to wait because I like better graphics. Not many people are willing to do that. And the benefit, I guess, is that you get a few extra games that could be on... the indie games that could be on Steam that are probably very good, and probably you wouldn't get to play those on Xbox or PlayStation. But the problem would be that indies don't sell as much as like there are a few outlying examples, and I'm sure someone would be like, Jesse, but what about this game? Screw you. The idea is that there are many indie games do not sell that well, and indie doesn't sell consoles, and that's just a fact. Indie games don't sell consoles. And in this case, the Steam box, I don't know that it's going to... I don't know that it's going to be able to thrive in a market where it's dominated by two, I guess three if you consider Nintendo, big consoles that exist. And they're going to say, we're jumping right in, and we're going to give you better this and better that. I don't know that it matters if they can make it look better, but they can't provide you with the same games at the same time, then what the hell's the point?
If that ends up happening, then you would be right. Yeah, I can't disagree with the idea that if they are able to stop pretty much every major game from coming out to PC for, say, a couple of months at a time, that's gonna hurt. There's no question about that. But I actually don't think that's feasible. I don't think it's economically feasible for the companies to be able to pay enough money to do that. I seriously do not believe that Sony and Microsoft would actually get on the same bandwagon, because this is what we discussed, I think, last week. If you are going to delay it on one of your competitors, you're going to delay it on all of them. You're not going to just delay it on Steam. I mean, of all things, why would you pay so much money to do that? You would try and delay it on everything.
I agree. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't collude together and make it happen like, we're going to screw for Steam. They're going to do it to all of each other. Like, they're going to make sure that some games come out early on some and not on others. But
I just don't think they've got the money. And because right now the installed user base for both of them is pretty slim. So you end up in a situation, you remember how the Wii U started off, where Ubisoft went all in on the Wii U, right? And they released a ton of exclusive games, and it was just terrible for them. They really got nailed to the wall on that one. Right now, even though there's been strong sales initially for these consoles, they're in a pretty fragile space where, just like you said, most people are still playing on the previous gen. So you want to be able to sell on as many platforms as possible with your next-gen games. And if you don't do that, you're just gonna lose money. Games cost too much.
I'm pretty sure I read somewhere the Wii U outsold the Xbox One for Christmas this year.
I believe it did. I think was it maybe in the UK? I think that it did that.
I think so, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it did. The Wii U is actually picking up pace because it has games, which is something that the other consoles don't. So that helps.
Yeah, PS4 really needs more games.
God. I got my PS4 back, and I've plugged it in just to set it up, and I haven't put a single game in it because there aren't any.
I know, they're all just like cross-platform things.
I don't want to play Killzone.
Resogun's good.
I played Defender 20 years ago. It's the same game.
Pretty particles, dude. Come on.
My PC has more pretty particles than that does.
There are pretty particles there.
There are fucking nice particles, man.
They are pretty good. And the soundtrack has that bass.
Yeah,
the best
that
bass.
I like to say that ass as well.
It has dead ass.
Yeah.
It is the sexiest of the two consoles right now. It's got that slant thing going on for it.
Back to what we were saying before.
I'm not really sure what we were saying before.
What was even happening?
Particles?
Particles. Yeah. As I say, I think this idea of all of that exclusivity is something that developers, like third-party publishers, can't afford to do unless because if you're Sony, you already own some studios, right? Yeah. And if you're Microsoft, you also already own some studios. You don't own all of them, and the majority of games are not developed in-house. In-house exclusives you can keep on your own system, no problem, because you're the one who funded them. You can't fund all of these third parties with the current cost of games being what they are, because you would have to give a huge amount of money to them to even convince them of that, because what you're saying to them is, don't sell to the majority of your potential audience.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you look at PC, Xbox One, and PS4, any one of those is a minority audience. Any one of them. Right now, of course, the PC audience is actually much larger than both of those machines put together, but we're talking about the hardcore PC audience that would actually play them. But if you look at it, like, there's, 7 million people online at any given time on Steam, and there's 3 million Xbox Ones out there? Now, think about it. I just don't think those companies have got the clout. I don't think they've got the money to do what you're suggesting, and even if they had the inclination, I just don't think they could pull it off.
That is but one of the many speed bumps in the road of this thing's success. And sure, okay, they passed that. Great. Now they have the problem of too much choice, which is something that human beings have problems with in general. You have okay, I'm gonna get a Steam box. There is no such thing as just a Steam box. There are multiple things that serve as a Steam box, and so if I'm in this large group of people you're saying that exists, I'm like, well, you know what? I'm gonna get a Steam box. Okay, they convinced me. My search for a Steam box is now I have to do research. Yeah. I have to do research, and I have to find out which Steam box I want, which one's good for me, and which one's this.
Which is kind of the same problem you had with a PC in the first place, right?
Right, and it's inherently bad. There's too much choice, and there's many studies been done over the years by many different researchers that prove that 1 or 2 choices is good. Humanity can handle that. You give us too many choices, we just decide not to choose. And we're like, screw it, I'll come back to it later. And that's a big problem. And so I feel like before it was, you have a PlayStation that's by PlayStation. You have an Xbox that's by Microsoft. You have the Nintendo Wii, whatever the hell it is this time, by Nintendo. Steambox is Steambox by insert 50,000 companies. Yeah. And that is an inherent problem. And I feel like that might throw people off too. There are a lot of things that stand in the way of Steam being a success as a console. And
I do agree with that. It's not an easy thing to just buy, because you'll have to choose which Steam box you want, and that requires research. And if they're actually going toward the market of people who don't already have a nice PC and know how to research that stuff, then
they're not going to do it.
That is going to be a problem.
One of the biggest problems for people who don't buy PCs as is, it's really confusing. That's why a lot of people just go to Best Buy and can you show me a good PC? And they get sold whatever the hell the guy there says is a good PC for them, for a laptop. Because usually that's what happens. And so that stands as another problem. The Steambox has many hurdles to get over before it becomes a success. I don't think it will do it. I just don't. No matter what, there's always problems. Like I said, though, if they want to send me a free Steambox to test it, I will gladly test it. But
Cry, you've been trying to get a word in edgeways for the last 20 minutes, and I don't blame you. What are you going to say on this one?
Oh, I'm just saying, like you're making a good point here about the whole. There's too many choices and stuff. I thought that was just like a problem for just a few people, like me included, because I'm very indecisive. But I guess it is a very common issue for a lot of people. So you are making a valid point there with your words you're saying.
It's a brand issue. The weird thing is these are all coming under one brand, which is fine. Like Valve has some brand strength. Cyberpower and iBuyPower and some of these guys I've actually never even heard of, and I should know because this is what I do for a living and I still don't know who these guys are. That's going to be a real problem. Because you won't, as you said, you won't know who to buy from. Is Valve going to curate it? If they do, maybe that becomes a little bit different. Will you be able to order a Steam box from Steam? Like, actually go on Steam and buy a fucking Steam box curated on the actual platform with good info. Will that happen, or will you have to Google it?
If that was the case, they'd stand a better chance. If that was the case, they'd be competitive. But as it stands now, they're marketing the Steam box to people who already are searching for PCs. And not the people they should be marketing to, which is the people who don't have the PC to begin with.
Yeah, and that, and we haven't even talked about the whole streaming thing, which wasn't even mentioned during this whole thing. Which,
yeah,
again, we're back to the whole brand confusion thing of what is this trying to achieve. Yeah. All right, well, we'll move on from it because I think we've definitely talked enough about it, and we're probably boring some people. Cry, talk about the crazy razor thingy.
Oh yeah, it's got pods or something. What the hell?
pods,
Slabs.
Slabs.
They look like hard drives.
They do.
They
all look like hard drives.
They do. The Razer Christine. Honestly, I've only seen the title of it on the game subreddit, and then you linked it to me. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And then we got into the podcast, and I haven't really looked into it much. But tell me more.
I could show you.
Okay.
I will do that. By showing you the concept video for this thing.
Okay.
It's so weird.
Which looks something like this.
It's like it's like a modern designer decided to try and make an abstract tree. And came up with this.
Does.
Right?
It's true. Yeah.
And this comes along and has no mention of the Steam box whatsoever, and it's like, oh yeah, so we're doing a different thing.
I like the idea though. It seems like for someone who wants a computer but doesn't really feel confident enough to go in their computer to upgrade it, this way it seems like, plug and play kind of deal. It seems a lot, more for people like me who are afraid of breaking everything he touches when he goes in his computer.
That's a good. I agree. That's a very good concept. I agree with you. I have the exact same fear. I think a lot of people are afraid of PC parts in general, and I think this will probably cost $12 billion. But I think it fixes that problem. I think it fixes the problem of just stick it in and it works.
But you would only be able to buy Razer modules for this.
Yeah.
You couldn't mix and match. You couldn't customize that way. And there was the thing that we were talking about before we actually went live about like how secure are these in the base? Babies. What if a baby pulls a thing out?
I'd imagine it locks in pretty hardcore. I can't imagine it's gonna happen.
They better. Like,
if you're spending $6,000 on this thing, and you have a baby, either you're filthy rich or you have wrong priorities. Because I feel like you need to rethink some life choices.
I'm thinking though that if you have a really pissed off girlfriend, she might go to work with one of your things just to be like, no, you can't play video games today, hubby. So this way it's a lot. It's a lot easier for her to fuck with you when you have something like this, because she doesn't know how to go on your computer and fuck with things without permanently ruining it. But this way it's just like, I'll just take it for a moment,
God, Cry.
It's like taking your keyboard.
Because girls are stupid, Cry. Am I right?
Girls are.
No, they're not stupid. I'm just saying when I was younger. All right, little story here. It's not even a story. I'm just telling you. My mom, she was really mad that I pretended to be sick from school to play World of Warcraft. Okay, but here's the thing.
It's kind of cute that you were still in school when World of Warcraft was out. It's like, that's adorable.
2004. I was born in '89. It ain't that bad.
Oh, it's adorable.
But
continue.
She took my keyboard with me to work, or from me to work. But then I realized that there's this amazing thing called a virtual keyboard So I proceeded to just play WoW with a virtual keyboard, and it worked pretty terribly. But I got to hang out, so that was neat. But I'm just saying, this kind of thing would fuck you up a lot more than someone taking away your keyboard, just because that's like your computer that they're taking pretty much. And it's like you can put that in, well, a really baggy pair of pants.
This is the highest priority for you when it comes to building a PC. That someone can't randomly take a module away from you.
I can see them getting lost, okay? I'm just saying.
These things are huge. How can that...
Well, some people have messy rooms, man. Come on. Not every... All right. Look at Dodger's place. It looks nice and clean. Look at Jesse's...
Lol.
Maybe. But you can hide...
Whoa!
What?
No.
You tell me your place is clean right now.
It is
Look at
very
how clean this is.
That is a
Oh,
mess.
yeah. There's a
My
bag
place
of
is-
trash right there.
This is made for show because it's all things I got. This place is spotless. Spotless.
We can't see the floor, man. We don't know.
You can't see a damn thing in this room, and that's on purpose, because my desk is
I
covered
have a
in...
closet. Look how neat
I've
my
got
closet
reason
is.
packets
It's
on my
ordered.
desk. I have this polystyrene thing that actually has a spoon sticking out of it. I mean, this is right here.
All right. See, you could lose your freaking pod in that little like container of food right there, and
Yeah,
then you
but then
throw
I
it
know
out,
where
you're
it
like,
was.
Crap, there goes
Safe-
my computer. I'm fucked.
It was safely stored in the polystyrene container. You know.
It's just gone.
My desk is purposefully ordered. Oh my god. You don't understand. I will on you.
Sorry. Man.
All that
Honest
OCD.
mistake. I
No,
apologize.
Craig gets me. He understands that this is clean. He gets
No,
it.
that is
He gets it.
disgusting. God, when you
Look
get the
at
plague,
how
when you
clean
get the
this
plague and become a fucking zombie, I'm gonna be in my fortress of solitude, very nice and clean, not dealing with your shit.
You'll also be freezing your butt off.
Ugh.
Just throwing that out there.
I like how Cry's technical analysis extends to someone could fuck off with one of your modules.
It's a very serious problem that could potentially happen.
okay,
in the future
Cry.
market.
Cry.
Yes.
If you're dating somebody who is going to pull modules out of your computer and try to destroy it, or try to destroy just a normal computer, maybe you shouldn't date them. A. B. If you're young enough where your parent would have bought this computer for you, and they are willing to destroy that computer and blow all that money, then really that's their fault. C. Maybe you don't have it in a place where somebody could just be like, oh, what's this? I'll put it in this box. All right, I'll see you, Cry.
All right. Forget the like crazy girlfriend analogy. Go back to the babies. Look at the babies. Look at those babies around that beautiful machine that costs thousands of dollars. Tell me a baby won't be like, oh, I can chew on this, and pulls it out and just puts it in the.
Why is the baby near your rig? Why is it in your
baby was
office?
exploring outside and came inside because
Put it back in its cage!
Baby shouldn't be in the cage. Put the baby out. Let the baby explore.
That's not how babies work.
Dude, the
Babies don't
Rugrats was an
just,
amazing thing. You can't just tell me the Rugrats won't happen in realsies if you have a fucking machine like that. They'll be like, I have found the freaking what's that
Okay.
space
The monolith?
obelisk. Yes, that. That is the obelisk to a child.
Rugrats reenact 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'm in.
Yes,
I'm
with
in for
Razor. Sponsored by
I'm in
Razor.
for that. I'm in for
Yes.
Okay. Can we all agree that this would still be effective and a bit safer if there was some sort of a container to slip it in, and when you
Yes.
want to replace things, you slip it out of the container?
Okay.
Well, hold
yes.
on. Are you saying that
Okay.
girls can't find ways to open containers? Because it's a known problem. It's they cannot get in those pickle
No,
jars.
Cry
No
said we're
problem.
done with the girlfriend analogy. Cry said we're done.
We're going from females to babies. It's an easy transition.
Girlfriends, crazy boyfriends, they're all gone from this analogy, okay?
Yes.
It's all babies now. We're
Go
all
to diapers now.
babies can't slip it out of the
Are
container.
you saying a team of babies could not lift up?
Get a fucking group of babies. Just be like, we got this shit. Come on. I mean,
The
go
Rugrats,
gaga.
man.
Let's
The
go.
I mean, they work the same way as ants, right? You just get a patrol of babies that all between them carry this stuff around. Yeah.
Right. I mean, You know, it used to be trying to get to the cookie jar, and now it's just getting those modules out.
Get them modules.
Babies have advanced. We don't even know. We don't
It's
remember what it's like to
crazy.
be babies, but they're advancing.
Young kids know so much about technology, so much more than we did back in the day.
I know.
Yeah.
God.
Well, I mean,
Babies.
it's like babies are like cats. They don't play with their toys. They play with what they want to play with, and they're gonna want to play with that.
Put it in your office and lock the door. What's wrong with you? Why would you let your baby in your office? My office is covered in cables and there's pins everywhere. Like this, there's loads more
Why do you
of them.
have pins all over your
Like
place?
pins all over the floor.
That's dangerous.
There's only one safe route into my office and only one safe route out. And if you don't know that route, you're gonna get pinned.
Die.
You're gonna get pinned.
It's
What
like
is
Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade up in his
TB
office.
is way worse than me. Can we establish this now that I've
It
shown you my
seems
home?
like it.
TB has
pins.
pins all over his floor.
Pins everywhere.
TotalBiscuit, promise me you'll not buy this Christine module for
I
your own
could
benefit.
just not have a baby and then I'd be okay and I could buy it. Because the
Okay.
pins were...
No babies and no razor Christine. Why
No,
does
I
he
want
hide-
the Christine.
Okay, why do you want Christine when you have a beautiful wife?
Sometimes we both
Everybody
get bored.
drink.
Drink!
Everybody drink.
Drink.
Anyway, we shall talk about... Let's try and talk about the modulation. This thing.
All right,
Like,
how about the specs?
okay, well, the specs-wise, they haven't given anything. The only thing they've said about this is that it is all actively water-cooled. Each sealed module is entirely self-contained and features active water cooling and noise cancellation. Now, the only way this could have active water cooling, like looking at the design of it, is if that you see those kind of front bits right there that are part of the overall stand. I would think that would be where the cooling unit has got to be, because you can't have an active cooler in a fully sealed module because you've got to vent that heat somewhere. Water doesn't magically make heat disappear. It's a conductor. So the cooling unit, I'm looking at this, the actual cooling unit seems to be at the bottom. That's where the water block actually seems to be. So I assume the whole tower is actually cabled up on the inside of it with these active cooling units.
I'm thinking each one has like there's like a tube, and then like it connects to the tubes to the tower, and then the water, you know, or cooling whatever goes like up and then just goes in. Like I said before the stream, it was like a jerky dehydrator, but instead of air, it's with the coolant.
Right.
No, that's how it works.
You can make jerky with the Hydra here, or what am I saying, Hydra?
I don't know.
You could make jerky with a Hydra. I'm
I mean,
sure.
yeah.
You
The
could
best part
figure it
is
out.
You would never run out of jerky. Each time you cut off a limb, you get more jerky.
I would love to try and show you pictures of this, guys, but the website they've designed means you can't actually scroll down. It just moves to the next picture.
I know. It just, yeah.
I cannot physically cannot show this to you. Like, not properly anyway. But if you go to the site, it's razorzone.com/Christine, you'll see at the bottom, that's where the PSU is and the water cooling unit. So that's where the main cooling for this damn thing is going to be. I see no vents on anything else, so the vent has got to be at the bottom of it. I mean, an active cooling unit to cool every component, because they're probably even going to have to cool the hard drives. Because if you usually hard drives have airflow over them, right? That's what keeps them relatively cool. They don't have to be super cool, but they've got to be relatively cool. You stick it in a fucking box like that, it's probably going to get a little bit warm. So you're going to have this cooling unit cooling everything. That's the CPU, which one assumes is pretty fucking hardcore, the GPUs, the hard drives, and any other bloody expansion card you want to throw in there. And it's all going to be done through this one unit. That's interesting enough in itself. And then I've got to ask, well, how the hell does the motherboard work on this thing? Like, where are the parts? Because
Yeah.
that's what really interests me. How the hell are they pulling that off?
I'm blaming tubes.
I just thought of the douchiest thing. I just thought of the douchiest thing you could do with this, and it takes me back to when Final Fantasy VIII came out. I rented that, and the fourth disc was damaged, and so I went and rented it again, and then switched out the CDs. So I switched out stuff and cheated my way, and then I said this game was damaged, and I got my money back. So needless to say, basically, if I had something wrong with mine and TB had one, and I hung out with TB, I could easily just switch two parts, and then I come home with mine, and TV would be like, something broke on my computer, and I don't know what.
I would imagine that this is going to have locks on it, so you can't actually do that shit. There's a similar thing called the
I mean, there
thermal
must
level.
be, right?
Yeah, there's a similar thing called the Thermaltake level 10, but it's not the same. If you look at the level 10, the way that that's actually designed, you could very easily have the motherboard in... I don't know how exactly they do this, but the big, tall, flat thing is where you could put the motherboard, yeah? And then it's modular on top of that. This thing, you couldn't do that. Like, if you look at the design of it, I don't see how you could possibly fit that motherboard in there. It's too long and thin. It doesn't work that way.
It's too long and thin. Just doesn't work that way.
Does it have a CD drive?
Yeah, modular. There's
yeah,
a
there
Blu-ray
it is.
drive at the top.
Yeah.
That's like the
top.
easiest bit, because they just look like that anyway. But if you look at the design of it, there's no way a traditional motherboard fits in this thing. It just can't.
You just
Maybe they
have
made their
the
own.
control panel. That's it.
Maybe they made a new
says-
design for a motherboard.
Well, I mean, I wonder
Yeah,
if they
it says
take a
there's a-
motherboard and basically, like, redesign it so the parts are modular and fitted in various places and just connected together. Because there's nothing theoretically stopping you from that, but you've just got to throw the entire form factor of ATX out of the window.
Do you even see it on there, TB? Because I'm looking at it. There's GPU 1, GPU 3,
The motherboard?
GPU 2.
No.
There's no
Like,
motherboard.
well,
there's
there's-
just the control panel.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's inside the big tower thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
No,
it
there's
might
no
be.
way it would fit. Look at the size of that thing. Not to mention the stuff going through the middle of it. That would be some Houdini shit if you fit a motherboard in that. Like, it's too narrow. It's definitely not the ATX factor. So, my theory of it, and it doesn't actually tell you on the site anywhere, that the parts of the motherboard are modular in and of themselves. So they all kind of connect together to make a complete motherboard. That's the only thing I can think of. But that's insane. If they can pull that off, that's actually kind of impressive.
So are you saying that these pods here go form of motherboard, and they just fucking make it themselves?
Exactly.
That is, we're in the 2014, all right.
Yep. Yep.
I live in the future, and it feels pretty. It's actually fucking cold. It's really cold in here.
I
He
like
lives in the
that.
future, but he doesn't have central air.
I live in the
all-
future, but I don't got socks.
Of all the promises we were made about the future, no flying ships, no hovercraft, no nothing. But instead, we got in Star Trek where they like pull chips out of computers.
Oh, the
and put them back.
isolinear data chips? Yeah.
That's what we got. That's what we got. Great.
We're all gonna be Uhura one day.
I've got to pull the chips out and replace them in different places because that's the
Captain.
work then.
Captain, it's working now.
Oh yeah, no, just got to move it. Now it works.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably going to be very expensive. I mean, it's Razer for one thing, but I've liked Razer for a long time because they do crazy shit. Like the big tablet, the Razer Edge that I have, it's like, wow, nothing else can actually do this, even though it's expensive and gets hot and it's a bit clunky and it weighs a bit much. But it's cool that somebody did it. It would be interesting to see if this thing actually ends up coming out at all, because you remember the Switchblade they did? That little PC with the customizable thing? That never came out, and probably never will.
Wait, it didn't?
No, you can't get a Switchblade. Yeah, it was a concept, and so's Christine. So,
Yeah.
Shit, I thought it was.
99% of the stuff you see at CES is concept, and it's sad that we rarely see it. Like the phones last year that you could bend, like the bendy phones.
Yeah.
It was
I
really
wanted that so badly. Like the paper phones, that was awesome.
they'll
No.
probably do that eventually, but right now they're not thinking it's a good idea.
What about digital paper? That shit was cool too.
Right?
Yeah,
No.
man.
Oh man,
Darn.
we could be living in Almost Human. Just pull out little sheets of plastic, and then it would be like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Be like,
I just want to live in Total Recall. My life would be good. I want 3 titties.
No, Total Recall's
Are you
universe
kidding
was
me?
horrible.
Which of those did you watch? Because they're both pretty terrible.
Dude, 3 titties. Triple. There's more than 2. There are
Tits.
trace. Not do.
I
But
like,
does
I like
that
how-
balance out how terrible the world otherwise would be?
Yeah,
'Cause I
if
think that would get
anything-
old.
As
That would get
as
old.
long as you got trip tits, you're fine.
No.
Yes.
No, if anything, that is because she is a mutation from all the radiation and horrible pollutants.
Yeah,
really,
but
that's
then Arnie would be actually doing something again. It'd be important to me.
Arnie. I like how in this world also Arnold Schwarzenegger is young again and fighting crime.
Exactly. It's like RoboCop, but with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's perfect.
Oh god.
Yep.
Oh, I
Yep.
love it.
That's
Why
right.
not?
In conclusion,
Why?
on this thing, this seems to me to be a more interesting advancement than Steambox because it does get rid of it. Actually tackles an actual problem.
I agree. I agree with this.
Yeah. But the problem will probably disappear when we realize that it costs way too much. Like, at least right now. That's why it's a concept. But I think eventually PCs will go this way. I just don't know when. So
I was about to say I think they have to, but I guess that's not necessarily true.
I don't think they have to, but they should. Like, they should
Yeah.
go in that direction. It makes the most sense. I mean, hell, people were trying to figure out those phones. You remember that phone blocks concept that everyone, like, engineers came out and said, that's bullshit and there's no way that's gonna happen.
Oh, I remember
Yeah.
that one.
But eventually...
I like the concept.
Oh, the concept's lovely, but how
Yeah.
practical is it? I think this
It's
is
like
more
Legos
practical...
with phone.
Yeah, I think this is more practical than the phone box thing, though. You know?
Yeah.
This actually makes sense to some degree.
The smartest thing they could do is sell the base tower really cheap and make the modules super expensive. So people they
Yeah.
have to buy expensive parts. Oh, it broke? Well, you got to buy another part, jackass. That's how you do it.
Yeah. You make it feel affordable, but
But all those little add-ons, they add up.
I'm just hoping if they actually do this, they open up the pods for like third party, so it's not like a monopoly. You know? 'Cause-
Yeah.
Sir?
that's
Yeah.
If all of the modules that can click into it are all Razer, that's gonna.
I
Well, I
want
mean,
them all to
Razer
have,
doesn't
like,
make that hardware, though. Like, they've still got to buy it from a third party.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want them to have like multicolors for pods, so you can have like a fucking clusterfuck of colors on your tower.
Oh my god!
That's
That's such
the
a
reason
great
to own
idea.
Yes,
Oh
make
my
red,
god,
white,
that would
blue
be
Merc.
amazing. You could make a Merca one. You could make a rainbow one. That's what I would have.
Oh, of course.
Of
you would.
all the things we've talked about today that could possibly get your fucking interest, the one thing you care about is color. God damn it.
You guys turn it into a rainbow tree, Jesse.
And today,
Cox.
Dodger bought an Alienware.
Wait, this is Razer.
Razer.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm in.
Alienware did that 5 years ago, though. They did that whole color shifting thing way before
Oh
that.
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I should have got one.
Who made the StarCraft headset that changed colors?
Razer? It was Razer.
Was it Razer?
Yeah.
God, Razer's on point tonight.
Dude.
That
It's not
headset's
even
pretty good.
nighttime, but tonight they will be on point indeed.
The mouse and keyboard.
Somewhere
aren't,
it's
though.
nighttime.
I think the Razer Marauder keyboard they did was pretty terrible. The headset was the Banshee, I think. That was what it was called.
Yeah, there was like a
Yeah.
weird see-through part right here that when you were using them, they just like changed colors constantly. And I
Yeah,
was
it's
like,
the Razer Banshee is the StarCraft 2 one.
Gotcha.
That one's pretty cool. The other two, the Marauder and I think it was the... Whoa!
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
That was interesting.
What?
What?
I don't think anything's actually... Oh.
Hello?
Whoa.
Hello?
What?
Hang on.
Hi.
Hello, TB?
That was
Hello?
weird.
TB? Hello?
Battle.net just pulled some really crazy shit on me.
What?
Hello, TB?
No? Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
TB?
Something,
Are you there?
Something
Can you hear
very-
us?
I
Are you
can hear
okay?
you, but I don't think anyone could see you.
Is it the tax?
Hello?
Oh my god, look at the stream.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
the stream is amazing!
There's some
Holy
crazy...
shit.
Battle.net is pulling some crazy stuff on me here.
Someone please give that finger. Give the
Holy shit, that needs to be one.
give
What
the,
the
give, they know you can see
fuck?
it, so give the finger with hashtag ladies underneath it.
Whoa.
Make that happen. Make that happen. Internet. I've never wanted anything more in my life. I will use that picture all the time.
I cannot explain what just happened to my computer, but it's probably not good.
The stream's working, it seems, but
Keep going.
Yeah, the
It's
stream's fun. There's no one on it except for Cry's picture.
yes, I win.
something... Yeah, you can. I'm glad they can hear us, but some nut stuff is going on. Like... It seems to be Battle.net related. Like, it's brought up the command line, and it's showing me, like, a bunch of Battle.net things. I'm like, and now the screen's just gone completely black.
Damn. That sounds like a good day to you, huh?
Not
Probably a
really.
great
Oh
time
god,
for
it's
a break.
flashing. Holy shit!
Whoa!
Caesar and Jesse.
I'm
Oh,
watching
no,
this right now.
no!
Holy crap!
I have no explanation for any of that.
Oh my god!
Oh god, I'm so sorry, everyone.
You have epilepsy! Get away from here!
Alright, I'm gonna have to reboot my machine.
Oh my god! You can see Razor now! It's
Thanks
creepy!
for watching the Co-optional Podcast.
God.
Thanks for watching.
Oh, hang on. Oh, no. Damn. I got the
Jesse is
screen
at
back,
Jesse
but
Cox
other
on
crazy
Twitter.
shit is still
Cry
happening.
Is at
coming
Cry
through.
was taken on Twitter. TB is at TotalBiscuit on Twitter, and I'm at DexBonus. Please follow all of us. Good night.